the inning. Except for whatever reason, everyone seemed to forget that was the third out. Montreal remained on the field, and Phil Nevin strolled up to the plate, bat in hand. After the count got to 2-1 against Nevin, someone with Montreal must have done a double take. It was brought to umpire Jerry Lane's attention that there were already 3 outs recorded. Lane quickly did the math and informed Nevin the at-bat was over. In the bottom of the 8th, back at the plate, but officially this time around, Nevin drew a walk against Lilly and scored when pinch hitter Wiki Gonzalez followed with a home run. The almost extra at-bat in the bottom of the 7th had no effect on the game. The Padres won running away, taking it 10-3. Buddy Carlisle got the win, the first in his career. He would only have 12 more of those over 9 years in the majors. Both the Padres and the Expos finished in second last place in their respective divisions that season. San Diego 26 games back of the Arizona Diamondbacks. Montreal a whopping 35 games back of the Atlanta Braves. For It Happened in Baseball, I'm Mick Kern.
On the court and off, your home for the NBA is SiriusXM. Follow all the drama as your favorite team vies for it all. SiriusXM NBA Radio. SiriusXM 86.
This is the NBA on SiriusXM.
Full steam out of the backcourt, all the way to the rim for a thunderous slam.
Every game, all season long, through the NBA Finals.
Drives, he jump stops, he's off balance, he put it up and in. I don't know how.
Your home for hoops is SiriusXM Radio. Now, let's take you courtside for the game.
Jamal's great. Like I said, he works hard. It makes me think about me a little bit. Just come in and, kind of being a surprise, but, working extremely hard and trying to do the little things. I think he's really a tough dog to stop, when he's focused and, gets at it and gets in people's faces. It's really tough to stop him. And like I said, he's hitting these threes now and now, so he's been working extremely hard for that, and it's really good to see it come to fruition.
That's the voice of Raptors forward, big man, Canadian, Chris Boucher, speaking about teammate Jamal Shead, who has certainly impressed for the Raptors many times this season, Jonesy, in his rookie campaign as Shead and the Raptors, Boucher and the Raptors get set to face the Detroit Pistons in the Motor City tonight. We'll have the tip-off coming in about 10 minutes' time. Again, it's Eric Smith and Paul Jones with you, and pleased to be here on a Saturday night to bring you the Pistons and Raptors as Toronto tries to get back on the winning track before coming back home for another homestand with the Golden State Warriors coming to town on Monday. But they've got to take care of business tonight. And, Jonesy, they're coming off a pretty decent performance, the Raptors are, a couple of nights ago against the Cleveland Cavaliers. It looks like they had the Cavs not necessarily on the ropes, but they certainly gave them a scare, and one where they maybe had an opportunity to steal one against the league's best. But in the end, Cleveland dropped the hammer and shut the door on the Raptors yet again. Only one win on the road this season for the Raps.
They were in that game.
Yep.
And, you're talking about a tie game with 3-4 minutes to go. And, the unfortunate thing is they've been in that situation many times this year, but never with the group that they have together. I think their finishing group, their best 5 available. And there were some critical mistakes, at least one on offense and one on defense, missed assignments, lack of focus. I'm not going to blame it on effort. It's easy to blame it on effort. You've got to focus. You've got to have better decision-making. You've got to have better attentiveness to detail. And
I like you say that, too, because it implies when we've used it, I'm sure, at times.
Yeah.
But I think effort gets used too often by broadcasters, by fans, whatever, because you can't tell me that guys aren't trying hard more often than not, if not every time. They're not trying to go out there and make mistakes or trying to lose, but if you aren't focused and if you don't have the attention to detail and whatnot, that's when the mistakes creep in. It's not effort.
Right. And that's the whole thing. They mess up some defensive assignments, careless turnovers, high risk turnovers on offense. There comes a time in the psychology of the game where everybody knows what play or pass you're going to make that pass.
Right. Don't
try to outsmart people, because that's when you get into trouble. So, and look, let's look at the opponent. J.B. Bickerstaff, longtime friend of the program.
Yep.
he'd get one of my 3 Coach of the Year votes this year.
For sure.
He would definitely get one of them this year. And the Pistons have won more games this year than, 19 games. That's unheard of. And for all the people talking about tanking, they did it and never ended up with the first pick. No Wemby. They got Cade, and that was it. And it was in a, quote, weaker year. Well, he's developed. He's done a good job. In my eyes, he's an all-star this year. He should be on the all-star team. Coaches voting for him should give that guy an all-star nod with the Pistons where they sit in the standings right now.
We'll keep you updated on the National Football League playoff action over the course of the evening as well. In fact, as I speak, the Texans just picked off Justin Herbert and ran one back for a touchdown, and now Houston leads the Chargers 19-6 with the extra point coming in a moment late in the third quarter. We are getting set to start the Raptors and Pistons in about 4 or 5 minutes time. Before we step aside for the break, though, Jonesy, why don't we get in the keys to victory right now so we're not rushed before tip-off, as the keys to victory are brought to you by your Ontario Honda dealers. Redefine your drive with the 2025 Civic Hybrid. It always starts with turnovers, but where else are we going with the keys to victory?
Well, where else are we going? We're going with the qualitative measures that I just talked about. Focus, concentration, attention to details. Those are lumped together as one of the keys. Cade Cunningham is a key for the Detroit Pistons. This young man's really developed. He was, player of the week. If the Pistons keep going at the rate they're going now, he's going to be up for player of the month discussions, and I think he should be an all-star this year. And you look at what he's doing in terms of his scoring, his rebounding, assisting the ball, getting other players involved, and being a leader, some of the things that you don't see. So the Raptors are going to have their hands full with Cade Cunningham. And then for Toronto, I would say the third key would be guys starting to adapt and galvanize in the new roles that they have with everybody back. This is not where, Scotty and Quickly are out and I'm going to get 20 shots or I'm going to get, 31 minutes and I don't really have to be responsible with them. No. You've got things back now, and to move it forward, you always talk about it, Eric, and I think it's a great line. Not only are you given a role, you better accept that role.
Yeah.
This is what you need to do for us to win.
Yeah, it's one thing to know your role, but do you accept it?
Stay in your lane. Do your thing. And I think those will be real keys for Raptors tonight.
So, again, it's the Raptors and Pistons. We're going to have the starting lineups in a couple of minutes' time as Toronto gets set to close out this 3-game road trip before they head home to host the Golden State Warriors on Monday. And as I just go back to one of Jonesy's points for a second here before we step aside for the break, Cade Cunningham entering action tonight, averaging over 24 points per game, more than 6.5 rebounds, and just over 9 assists as well. To Jonesy's point, those are indeed all-star numbers from Cade Cunningham, and the Raptors will have their hands full with him tonight as the Raptors hope to steal one to close out this road trip at Little Caesars Arena in Detroit. The tip-off is coming up next on Toronto Raptors basketball. Brought to you by Tangerine Bank. This is how we fan. Tangerine, official bank of the Toronto Raptors, right here on the Sportsnet Radio Network, streaming on the Sportsnet app and at sportsnet.ca.
Hurry! It's the last week of No Frills Deals for Days event. Until January 15th, shop amazing deals like select varieties of Ital pasta at only $1.33 a pack. No Frills. Won't be beat. See flyer for details.
Happy New Year from Pizzaville. This week, get 2 free 500ml Coca-Cola bottles when you spend $25 or more. Order online at pizzaville.ca or call 416-736-3636.
32 Thoughts, the podcast, is brought to you by the GMC Sierra Pro Graphite. Ready to tackle any challenge, the GMC Sierra delivers power, reliability, and versatility wherever the road takes you. Finance from 0% for up to 72 months on select 2024 Sierra 1500 Pro models while supplies last. Plus, no finance payments for up to 90 days. Visit gmccanada.ca or visit your local dealer today.
Join us to heal the future for SickKids patients. Every unique child SickKids sees comes to the hospital for world-class care, and everyone comes with a story.
Hi, I'm Nori, and thanks to SickKids, I'm now in remission. Wait, can I redo that? Please donate to SickKids so that SickKids can have the funds to help kids like me and families like mine get the best health care possible.
Help sick kids heal more futures. Donate today at healthefuture.ca.
This year, warm up to winter in Ontario, to romantic trips, cozy cabins, warm up to some cool adventure, skiing, ice climbing, skate trails, snowshoeing. Chill out by a fire, sipping ice wine, going to a food festival, or a resort. Winter in Ontario. We're warming up to you. Plan it now at destinationontario.com.
We are gathered here today to celebrate life's big milestones. Do you promise to stand together through home purchases, auto upgrades, and surprise dents and dings?
We do.
To embrace life's big moments for any adorable co-drivers down the road?
We do.
Then, with the caring support of Desjardins Insurance, I pronounce you covered for home, auto, and flexible life insurance.
For life's big milestones, get insurance that's really big on care at Desjardins.com/care.
Nobody likes January, so limber up and get on down to St. Louis Bar and Grill for all-you-can-eat boneless chicken for only $19.99. When your great Uncle Leo sent you that card with a 20 in it, you may have been wondering, what am I going to do with $20? Well, sport, I'll tell you what you're going to do. You're going to eat a lot of chicken. Ooh-wee! Because for a limited time, there's also no tax. For just $19.99, you can go to town on all the boneless you can handle.
All you can eat boneless for only $19.99. Only at St. Louis Bar and Grill. Dine and only. You are welcome.
This is Toronto Raptors basketball on Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
Welcome back. Eric Smith, Paul Jones with you. We're moments away from the tip-off in Detroit with the Raptors and Pistons going toe-to-toe. Cunningham, Hardaway, Thompson, Harris, and Duren for Detroit. It's quickly Dick, Barrett, Barnes, and Pirtle for the Raptors, the starting five for both teams. And, Jonesy, you noted in your keys in talking about the Raptors finally being healthy and having their full complement of players and the chemistry, etc. It's not fair to point out just one guy, but I am keeping my eye on Grady Dick. And I think we might have addressed this a little bit in the last broadcast that we did together. This is not criticism by any means. It's just reality. Grady, I think, has had a fantastic season, and he certainly has stepped up in the absence of Barnes. And then when Barnes came back, he's stepping up in the absence of Barrett. And then when Barrett came back, okay, well, quickly's still out. Grady has played well. How can you now be a complementary piece as a three-point shooter, as a slasher, as a guy who still has to defend his position on the other end, and be that guy knowing that you're probably now pushed down to, like, fourth option?
Let me frame him in the context of what I gave for Keys and the guys together and in their roles and accepting it. Accept it. You're the fourth option now. Mm-hmm. Still do your thing to be coming off screens, scoring on pin downs, curling into the lane, being a facilitator. You're just not going to get it as often as you did before. So instead of in 31 minutes giving me 20 points, in 20 minutes, can you give me 12 points without the turnovers, without any bad shots? Those are the things that are going to help move this team forward.
Raptors win the opening tip and immediately turn it over about 20 seconds into the ball game. They now pick up a foul on the other end as well as Grady Dick, the man we were just chatting about, fouls a driving Tim Hardaway Jr., and Detroit is going to head to the free throw line. Again, 22 seconds into the ballgame. By the way, again, as I told you, we'll keep you updated on the football action. Justin Herbert just threw another pick that the Texans nearly ran back for a touchdown. It's 20-6 in the opening minute 15 of the fourth quarter.
Did somebody tell Justin Herbert they're actually wearing the white uniforms today?
I'll tell you, this is a very un-Herbert-like performance thus far as the Chargers are getting spanked. And if Houston scores, it'll be 27-6 in the fourth quarter.
Pressure busts pipes. Pressure makes diamonds.
Well, it's busting pipes right now. Hardaway goes 1 of 2 at the stripe. Raptors come down the floor on their second touch officially. Again, they turned it over on their first one. Grady Dick on the baseline near side, goes back out on the perimeter. To Barnes, to Barrett, left to right. From the far wing, Barrett missed the 3 ball. Pirtle couldn't get the rebound. Detroit comes away with it. Here's Hardaway. Up top to Harris. Harris above the arc, goes over on the wing far side to Thompson. Back up top to Harris. 3 ball, back rim, no good. Long rebound controlled by Jakob Pirtle.
Really good job by Scotty on D, coming over to discourage the post pass on the mismatch by Cunningham on Quickly, and then getting back to recover.
Quickly has it in the near corner, puts it on the floor now, gets into the paint. Passes out on the far wing to Scotty Barnes, who drives into the paint, hands it off to Jakob Pirtle, who dunks it down with one hand, and the Raptors lead 2-1.
Great ball movement, left side, right side, back to the left side, and then right side for the finish by Pirtle.
Cunningham across center for the Pistons on that big Detroit Pistons logo. Now driving down Main Street, whips a pass into tough territory right there to Thompson, and it goes off Thompson out of bounds. The Raptors will get the ball. That was a rough pass there from Cunningham.
Yeah, tough pass, but nice job, R.J. Barrett collapsing and getting a hand on it.
See if the Raptors can take advantage of the Detroit turnover right here. Quickly around a screen set by Pirtle, gives it back to Yak. The floater in the lane, one hand, a little bit out of his range, and it just came up a bit short for Yak. Detroit comes away with the rebound, and they finish on a big-time alley-oop in transition as Jalen Duren catches and finishes off the pass from Cunningham. Now quickly to Barnes. A little bit too high, but Barnes saved it on the baseline. His pass, as he tried to save it, though, for Grady Dick is picked off, and here come the Pistons off the Raptor turnover. Harris out to Hardaway. Good look at a 3. Tim Hardaway buries it, and the Pistons extend their lead.
Inside-out basketball. Detroit again coming off a live ball Toronto turnover.
It's 6-2 Detroit, 9:35 to go here in the opening frame. Grady looking for Barrett, and Cunningham came over the back of Barrett. He's going to be called for the foul, so the ball will stay with the Raptors.
Need a little more sauce on that pass by Grady, but a good job by RJ. They always say if you have to wait for the ball, don't. Go get it. Go and meet it. And the fact that he did that had Cunningham come over the back.
9:33 to go now, opening frame. Raptors inbound from the near sideline. Again, they trail 6-2. Jumper up, no good for Scotty Barnes on the 3 ball. And the Pistons control the rebound. Coming across center, it's Tobias Harris. Barrett putting on some pressure as Harris gives it to Cunningham. Now in a switch, Barrett picks up Cunningham. They go back to Duren, who bobbles it in the lane, runs into Grady Dick. The Raptors controlled the lane well there. Got a lot of bodies. They come the other way, scoop it up and in. It's R.J. Barrett.
R.J. Barrett on the switch and deny. Getting a hand on that ball, creating the turnover.
And now the Pistons back the other way again. They were trying to lob it down low. They come up empty. They turn it over. Grady Dick picks it up. Finds R.J. Barrett behind the defense, lays it in, and the Raptors have tied it at 6.
Turnovers working in Toronto's favor again.
Cunningham for Detroit. Above the arc, far side. Flicks the pass over to Duren, who then drops it back to Cunningham. Came around the screen at the near elbow. Hit the jumper. Pistons lead 8-6.
Yeah, Pirtle caught in the drop coverage. Scotty just getting detached a little bit.
Barnes gives it to Quickly. Straight away, well above the arc. Now he's going to take a deep 3 ball, back rim, no good. And the rebound comes out to Thompson. Down the floor he comes. Trying to Euro step around Quickly. Now he passes into the far corner to Hardaway, who buries the triple. That's what he does. Pistons lead 11-6.
Long shot, long rebound, created a 4-on-3 for Detroit. And Hardaway getting a good look.
Raptors shooting 3 of 7. Detroit 4 of 5. Pirtle. Elbow extended far side, now back out toward the perimeter. He fires back to center court to Scotty, who lost the handle. He wanted a call, didn't get it. Shot clock down to 4. Barnes has got to go. He's going to release a 3 from the wing far side, missed it, and Duren has the rebound. He's a big dude.
Raptors 3 of 8 from the floor. 2 of them have been layups by R.J. Barrett.
And 0 of 4 from distance. Cunningham was looking for Duren. It went off the foot of the Raptor defender. That was Jakob Pirtle. So it'll be sideline out of bounds. Pistons will keep the ball. 14 on the shot clock, leading 11-6. Cunningham to Harris. Triple is good for Tobias Harris, and Darko calls for time.
Got to be close enough to touch if you're the Raptors, especially with guys that can knock them down. Detroit, 3 of 4 from distance.
Raptors had tied it at 6. It's now an 8-0 Pistons run leading 14-6 with 7:31 to go in the opening quarter. It's Toronto Raptors basketball, brought to you by Tangerine Bank on the Sportsnet Radio Network, streaming on the Sportsnet app and at sportsnet.ca.
Hey, Raptor fans, what would you rather have? More money or more vacation? Whichever you pick, it's a win-win. Just like hitting the 50-50 jackpot. When you buy tickets to the MLSE Foundation Lottery, you support kids and youth in communities across Ontario. Last season, over $1 million in jackpot prizes were won. That means more money and more vacation. Talk about a true win-win? Visit 5050raps.com for your tickets today.
Breaking story from Alpine News Network. Jan owns a home and a restaurant fusing French and Mexican cuisine. But she is fusing no more because her ovens have gone kaput. She called Alpine Credits, who sent their speedy superhero. With her business loan approved, her ovens were quickly fixed. The hero even had some of her poutine nachos. Yum! Own your home? Need a loan? Alpine Credits can help.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved. Just for license 12616.
The 2025 Honda Civic Hybrid is here, and it may sound too good to be true. With a 2-liter 4-cylinder backed by 2 electric motors, giving a combined 200 horsepower, it's our most powerful and fuel-efficient Civic ever. Plus, with an estimated range of over 800 kilometers and available features like a Bose premium sound system, your crew will love it too. Huh, maybe it should be called the Civic 2.0. Redefine your drive with the 2025 Civic Hybrid. Visit your Ontario Honda dealer and test drive yours today.
This is Toronto Raptors basketball on Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
Welcome back. Eric Smith, Paul Jones with you. 7:31 to go in the opening quarter, and the Raptors have fallen into a 14-6 hole. They're on the wrong end right now of an 8-0 Detroit run, and they already have a couple of turnovers leading to 4 Pistons points. And Jones, you made the point before going to break. If it weren't for 2 R.J. Barrett layups, the Raptors are 1 of 6 from the floor and 0 of 4 from distance.
There's part of me that I'm still wrestling with the new age NBA of, shooting the 3. Raptors are last in 3-point makes per game with 11. They're last in 3-point attempts, and they're 22nd in percentage. Yet you go down to points in the paint, Raptors are one of the top teams, 4th in the NBA.
Raptors with the ball out of the timeout, and they promptly turn it over again. R.J. Barrett, sloppy pass looking for Grady Dick, but to Toronto's credit, they force a turnover on the other end as Pirtle picks it up, finds Quickly, who botches the layup down the floor, misses, and Duran picks it up. Here comes Detroit with a 4-on-2 in the corner, dropping down the triple. The Pistons get another one from Hardaway and extend their lead to 17-6.
It's amazing how the fundamentals of fast break basketball, even in this age of pace and space, are deteriorating.
Raptors trailing 17-6, looking for points right here to close the 11-0 run, but they come up empty on another one-hand floater missing for Jakob Poeltl in the lane. Detroit back the other way, 2-hand flush. Tobias Harris pushes the lead to 19-6, and it's now a 13-0 run.
Oh my God!
And now Quickly is fouled on a drive down Main Street, and you could hear from our courtside microphones the Pistons didn't like that call, and Emmanuel Quickly is going to go to the free throw line.
Well, it's about staying close now if you're Toronto. You're in a big enough hole. You got to try to climb out of it early. And you're going to be playing catch-up, but you just don't want it to be from a big deficit the rest of the game.
Quickly knocks down the first free throw. It's 19-7. Scotty Barnes is going to check out of the ball game. And coming in for the Raptors, it's Chris Boucher, who certainly has had a hot hand of late.
Well, the last 4 minutes a couple games ago, and then last night in New York, and then last game, at least, in Cleveland, Chris has been on fire.
Second free throw is good as well. It's 19-8. Malik Beasley has come into the ball game for the Pistons. He came in for Thompson. Harris has it just below the far elbow extended, elevated for the jumper, and they catch Chris Boucher sticking his hand in that cookie jar. Committed the cardinal sin of fouling the jump shooter. And that's going to send Tobias Harris to the free throw line. 19-8, Detroit leading on a 13-2 run. And the 2 points for the Raptors both came at the free throw line moments ago. I'll tell you the last time they had a field goal in a second. I'm going to look it up here, as the Raptors have gone in a little bit of a funk, or a lot of a funk. Detroit with the third best record in the entire league over the last 10 games.
Yeah, 8-2, and had a narrow loss to Golden State at home. They've really, really picked it up.
Free throw's good for Harris. He's now got 7 in this opening quarter. Hardaway leads the way with 10, and Detroit is on top of Toronto 21-8. Now Jamal Shed into the ball game for Quickly. He's got the ball out on the far side, trying to weave through traffic, goes cross-court in the near corner to Grady Dick, saves it, puts it out on the perimeter to Barrett behind the back pass. A nifty one to Shed down on the block. Kicks it to Dick in the near corner. Missed it. Put back jam is good for Chris Boucher.
Chris always around the ball, playing with energy consistently.
And Detroit can't answer on the other end as Cunningham comes up empty on a triple. Raptors grab the rebound. Shed fires back out on the perimeter to Grady, driving back to Shed in the near corner. Over to Boucher, near side, triple up and in for Chris Boucher.
Chris still hot from Cleveland. Great job by Jamal Shed. Drive by Grady, kick by Shed, and the swing. Great job, Boucher knocking down the triple.
Raptors have it down into single digits after being behind by as many as 13. It's now 8, 21-13 with 5:13 to go in the opening quarter. Jonesy?
Chris Bosh, 5 points, 1 minute on the floor.
Chris Boucher,
sorry.
They could probably use Chris Bosh
right now.
Yeah, they
could use him too.
It's Toronto Raptors basketball, brought to you by Tangerine Bank on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Hey, Raptor fans, what would you rather have? More money or more vacation? Whichever you pick, it's a win-win. Just like hitting the 50-50 jackpot. When you buy tickets to the MLSE Foundation Lottery, you support kids and youth in communities across Ontario. Last season, over $1 million in jackpot prizes were won. That means more money and more vacation. Talk about a true win-win? Visit 5050raps.com for your tickets today.
The Subaru winter has arrived. The crisp air and negative temperatures mean one thing: camping. Emerge from your icy tent and bask in 4 to 6 hours of sunlight. Enjoy the unmistakable smell of campfire through the glacial wind pummeling your face. Relax by the water, taking in the soothing sounds of thick ice cracking and popping. Get out there in winter like it's summer with standard symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive and advanced safety systems. Visit your local Subaru dealer today.
Ugh, these vacation prices are really adding up. Flights, hotels.
Are your vacation plans going off-road? I'm a Sunwing financial advisor, saving you money while giving you more.
Did you say financial advisor?
Yeah, Sunwing financial advisor. There are thousands of us across Canada cracking the code on vacation savings so you can crack open that SPF.
Huh, that makes so much financial sense.
Book with your local travel advisor or at...
This is Toronto Raptors basketball on Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
Welcome back. Eric Smith, Paul Jones with you. First quarter action, Raptors trailing the Pistons 21-13. Raptors with a balanced attack right now, but it's Chris Boucher with the spark off the bench, as Jonesy mentioned going into the break. Boucher 5 points in 1 minute. And now the Raptors are going to go further into the bench as well as Bruce Brown hits the floor. Grady Dick will sit down. It's Boucher, Shed, Brown, along with Barrett and Pirtle. Barrett's got a couple of buckets in the ballgame, 4 points. Leading scorer in the ballgame is Tim Hardaway Jr., who has 10 on a perfect 3 of 3, and all 3 coming from distance. Cunningham brings it across center for the Pistons. Detroit with the ball out of the timeout. Duren comes up to set a screen. Cunningham goes around it. Shed trying to stay attached to his hip, but then a breakdown defensively for the Raptors as Shed thought help was coming, and Cunningham went right to the tin.
Yeah, somebody's got to step in. I mean, Chris Boucher on the strong side can't leave Fontecchio. The help has to come from the other side.
You must have been reading up on Chris Bosh or something today, Jonesy.
I was.
It's stuck in your brain.
It is. CB and, the Chris thing.
Yep.
Like I said, if he plays like Bosch tonight, that'll help the Raptors.
Fontecchio misses as he tried to lay it up and in on the near side. It went off the side of the rim. See if the Raptors can capitalize. Trailing by 10. Boucher's pass ahead to Barrett. Fed RJ to the 10. And RJ got hit, nearly hit the shot as well. It was that close to being an and one. And now 2 free throws coming for RJ Barrett. Over in the NFL playoff game between the Chargers and Texans, it's 25-12 with just under 9 minutes to go. Houston leading. Barrett.
Somewhere the late Garo Yepremian, or sorry, I don't even know if he's still with us. Somewhere Garo Yepremian, whether he's with us or not, is saying, thank goodness another kicker screwed up enough to get me off the highlights. Although he did it in the Super Bowl.
Barrett goes 1 of 2 at the stripe. You're right. The stakes a little bit higher. Tell you what, though, if I was a betting man, I would have been putting my money on the Chargers. I thought they would have been able to pull the upset today.
Yeah.
Even though the game is in Houston. Now 8.5 minutes to go with the Texans leading by 13. Raptors trailing by 9 after Barrett went 1 of 2 at the stripe. And as the Pistons run offense, we've got a little touch foul on Jamal Shed, who was trying to fight his way through a screen set by Isaiah Stewart.
Yeah, trying to belly up to stay with Cunningham.
Cunningham's now going to check out of the ballgame. Sasser comes in. It's Sasser, Stewart, Fontecchio, Beasley, and Harris for Detroit. Jumper up and in as Beasley gets it to go, pushing the lead back into double figures for Detroit.
Thought Barrett did a pretty good job of trying to stay attached.
17-footer went down there for Beasley as the Raptors come the other way. Drive, scoop, finish for the big man, Jakob Poeltl.
You know, there's a big guy playing on the catch, even though he's probably not as quick or fast as Isaiah Stewart. The surprise attack there, playing on the catch by Poeltl.
Barrett trying to pick up Harris up with the logo at center court. Harris now to a cutting Sasser, who then finds Stewart down on the left block and floats it up and in.
You know, I'm really impressed with how hard RJ Barrett is working defensively. You know, there was this knock that he doesn't play defense.
Shed catches the pass from Poeltl, gives it up to Boucher, now to Brown on the wing near side. Brown to Poeltl at the free throw line, fake the pass, a little show and go, and he floats it up, missed it, too strong, got it to go over Stewart, but the Raptors control the offensive rebound. Brown to Boucher, ripped the cords on another triple for Chris Boucher.
Chris gets the feet set, good offensive rebound by Bruce Brown, the scramble. Good time to get the 3 off.
Again, it's down to 8, and the Raptors force a turnover. Bruce Brown got the steal, takes it himself the other way, got the layup to go. It's down to 6.
Emmanuel quickly could learn from that. Doesn't matter if the big guy's chasing you. Use your speed, get to the hoop, get the ball up on the glass.
Might have been an and one as well.
Yep.
He took the contact from Stewart. A little up and under move there from Fontecchio. Nice move there as he went at Poeltl.
Thought he got away with a walk.
Might have, yep. The Piston lead back up to 8, 29-21. Poeltl to a cutting Shed, tough catch, and he got it off in a hurry as well. Fouled on the layup attempt, didn't hit the shot, but he's going to get 2 free throws.
Great spacing by the Raptors. Everybody out above the three-point arc. Poeltl catching it just inside the arc. The middle wide open for the cutting Jamal Shed.
So Shed has an opportunity to get this thing back down to 6. Pistons are still blistering at 79%. They are 11 of 14 as Shed knocks down the first free throw. Raptors shooting 8 of 19 for 42%. Now Barrett's going to check out of the ballgame. A well-deserved break for RJ for the last couple of minutes. Poeltl going to sit down as well. We'll clean up the lineups in a second. 2:17 to play. It's 29-22. Scotty Barnes going to come back into the ballgame for the Raptors, and he'll be joined by Kelly Olynyk. Brown, Olynyk, Shed, Boucher, and Barnes as Shed hits the second free throw, and it is indeed a 6-point game at 29-23. We tick towards the final 2 minutes of the first quarter. Pistons, Holland with the ball right now. Gives it up to Beasley, who buries a triple on the wing near side, extending the Piston lead to 9. Detroit shooting 5 of 7 from the perimeter and 80% overall. Shed to Olynyk. Olynyk inside the arc, goes cross court right to left to Barnes. At the free throw line, it's Brown. Brown brings it out to the perimeter, gives it to Shed. Shed drives into the paint, stops on a dime, turns, fires a pass out to Brown, who buries a 3 right in front of the Pistons bench.
Jamal Shed, so smart. He's a skilled point guard. 4 years of college, adapting really well to the pro game.
32-26. Under 90 seconds to go in the quarter. Stewart hands it off to Fontecchio. Over to Holland, misses the 3 ball. Rebound to the Raptors. Bruce Brown controls, and he'll bring it across center toward the near sideline. Now going around an Olynyk screen. He's inside the arc on the near side, goes up top to Barnes. Barnes holding the ball over his head, now puts it on the floor. Keeping the dribble alive, he's trying to go at Stewart. Fires a pass to Olynyk in the near corner. Back out to Barnes, who has to save it on the near sideline. Gets it to Boucher, who fires, barely grazes the front of the iron, and Fontecchio picks it up. Driving down the floor, Euro stepping around. Boucher missed the layup, and the rebound to Barnes. Can the Raptors get a bucket here with under a minute to play? They've got this thing down to 6. They've trailed by as many as 13. 42 seconds to go in the quarter. Shed calls out the play out towards center. Goes over to Barnes on the near side. Now it's Olynyk. Whips it over to Brown. Far corner, Boucher. Good look at a 3. He does it right in front of the Pistons bench. He's got 11 points in 6 minutes. Raptors trail by only 3.
Bruce Brown, knowing who's hot. Penetrating, cut, catch it, collapse the defense a little as he's going to the hoop, and then know where the hot guy is standing.
Pistons have to give it up before the end of the frame. And Sasser just blew a tire. Loose ball. It looked like it was off Detroit. They're saying it's going to stay with the Pistons, though. The officials alleging that it went off Toronto. Detroit will have it with 4.1 on the shot clock, 9.9 on the game clock.
Boucher doing a nice job of getting on the floor after the loose change. Now the referee's going to talk. Nick Buchert talking to Ray Acosta.
.9 seconds to play in this quarter. The officials still talking right now. I feel like they might be talking about the clock more than the possession, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Acosta still looking up at that shot clock and game clock. And now they're going to put the shot clock at 3.9, not 4.1. 3.9 seconds. Pistons inbounding to the right of the Raptor bench. They get it into Stewart. Clock down to 2. Stewart dribbles behind his back, gets off the shot, and it's a shot clock violation as his shot hit the backboard but not the rim. And the Raptors will have 4.6 seconds to try and get something else. Now they're going to change it up to 6 seconds on the game clock.
Minor point, Eric, but Jamal Shed pressuring the ball, forcing the pass to go back away from the basket that Detroit's trying to score at.
Barnes inbounding to the right of his bench. Gets it into Boucher. Good look. It's good if it goes. It's in for Chris Boucher. He beat the buzzer. In fact, there were still almost 3 seconds left. And the Pistons heave one off at the buzzer. No good. But how about Chris Boucher tying the game at 32 just before the end of the quarter with 14 points in 6 minutes on 4 of 5 from distance.
What's a record in this place?
Unbelievable.
Oh, great job. Fontecchio going for the steal instead of containing and contesting. And don't leave that guy open.
After trailing by 13, in spite of the fact that the Raptors give up 63% to the Pistons, we are tied at 32 at the end of one quarter. Second quarter action comes next on Toronto Raptors basketball, brought to you by Tangerine Bank on the Sportsnet Radio Network, streaming on the Sportsnet app and at sportsnet.ca.
The 2025 Honda Civic Hybrid is here, and it may sound too good to be true. With a 2-liter 4-cylinder backed by 2 electric motors, giving a combined 200 horsepower, it's our most powerful and fuel-efficient Civic ever. Plus, with an estimated range of over 800 kilometers and available features like a Bose premium sound system, your crew will love it too. Huh, maybe it should be called the Civic 2.0. Redefine your drive with the 2025 Civic Hybrid. Visit your Ontario Honda dealer and test drive yours today.
Desjardins Insurance cares a lot about their clients. In fact, it's packed with such a ginormous amount of vast and substantial care that's bursting with even more whoppingly humongous and colossal care. You might be a little surprised when we tell you that all of that care fits in the palm of your hand. With the Desjardins Insurance mobile app, you'll get a big hand with 24/7 paper-free access to all of your home and auto policies, including your digital pink slip. Get insurance that's really big on care at Desjardins.com/care.
You built your business from the ground up. Now let Rogers Sports and Media take it to new heights. Book your next radio or podcast advertising campaign with Rogers Sports and Media Ad Manager. Designed for businesses of all sizes, RSM Ad Manager is self-serve and simple to use. We'll even give you a $250 ad credit to build your first campaign today. And your audio can be produced at no extra cost. Visit grow.rogersportsandmedia.com to claim your ad credit today.
This is Toronto Raptors basketball on Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
Welcome back. Eric Smith, Paul Jones with you, getting set to start the second quarter. We're tied at 32. Chris Boucher with 14 points in 6 minutes for the Raptors, and he was certainly the story in the Raptor comeback after Toronto trailed by 13. Pistons start with the ball, and Malik Beasley opens the scoring with a triple to give the Pistons their lead back.
Now, the Raptors got caught. Bruce Brown trying to get over Kelly Olynyk in the drop coverage.
And now the Raptors turn it over on their first touch of the second frame.
Well, Detroit's turnovers had really benefited Toronto in that first quarter.
Pistons with 6 turnovers, giving up 9 points off turnovers. Raptors have 4, leading to 4 Piston points. We'll see if Detroit can take advantage right here. Near sideline, 3 ball up, no good for Fontecchio. Raptors battle for the rebound. Barnes comes away with it, sells the foul.
Big time.
But you'll take it and run if you're a Raptor fan, as Cade Cunningham is whistled for the infraction.
Yeah, definitely take it and run with it, but don't get into that habit. The basketball gods will even it out when you least expect it.
That's the second on Cunningham. Brown gives it up to Barnes, over to Olynyk. Everything on the perimeter right now as Olynyk finds Brown cutting to the 10. Left-hand scoop, good contest there by Cunningham, and Brown came away empty. Pistons leading 35-32. Cunningham inside the arc on the near sideline, now trying to back down on Boucher. Getting down toward the block. Turns, fires. He switched hands and went with a lefty release over Boucher. Missed the shot. Raptors come away with the rebound. Bruce Brown hands it off to Barnes, up top to Olynyk. Barnes scoreless in the game, but yet the Raptors trail by only 3. Bruce Brown around an Olynyk screen, gives it back to Kelly. Over on the near side to Quickly. Quickly drives into the paint. Floats one up, missed badly, down low. Boucher couldn't get to it, and the Pistons control the rebound. Fontecchio just crossed up Bruce Brown, drives to the 10, lays it in. What a move by Fontecchio.
Nice move on the perimeter. Raptors had people back. Got to come out and meet him, contest at the rim if you can.
37-32. Barnes, bucket and the foul. He is on the board now. He must have heard us talking about him. And he takes the and one on the jump shot that he nailed from 17 feet near side, and a 3-point opportunity coming for Scotty Barnes.
Scotty really demonstrating proficiency in the mid-range. We've seen his improved 3-point shooting, but he can start to work in that mid-range. Just makes him difficult. Not only can you not guard him because you have to worry about his scoring, he gets into that mid-range. Now he can make passes from there. Kickouts, dump downs.
Free throws are good. Raptors free throw, is good. It's 37-35 as Barnes makes good on the 3-point play. Cunningham elevates for a triple, knocks it down. That was tough.
Well, they're going at Kelly Olynyk in screen roll situations. Another one, dribble handoff, Kelly in the drop coverage. Raptors may have to look at changing the way they play those.
40-35, Pistons extend their lead to 5 as Barnes got into lane, tried to go at Stewart, and Isaiah Stewart denied him at the rim. Big time block for Detroit, and then the Raptors pick up a loose ball foul as well. We are going the other way. It's Pistons ball leading by 5, 2.5 minutes into this second quarter.
Isaiah Stewart doing a nice job protecting the rim, but I'm more impressed with the fact that, as we talked about, Eric, he's accepted willingly a new role on the bench.
Detroit just turned it over. Ball taken away by Quickly. Down the floor, lays it in. .40-37, Raptors cut this thing to 3. 9 minutes until halftime. Cunningham over toward the far sideline. Trying to work against Barnes. Got a step on him, got down toward the baseline, floats it up, missed the shot, rebound to Chris Boucher. He beat Stewart to the ball.
Yeah, nice job by Chris fighting for the loose ball.
Raptors across center, trailing by 3. Quickly trying to shake free from Holland. Now driving toward the baseline. Up fake. Fontecchio bit. Quickly floats it up. And he's fouled. He's going to go to the free throw line.
Well, as so many players have the propensity to do in this day and age, Quickly with the shot fake, and then he created the contact. But if that's the way the call's going to go, then learn, adjust, and take advantage of it.
So Quickly heading to the free throw line with the Raptors trailing by 3. FYI, Joe Mixon just rushed in for a touchdown with just over 3.5 minutes to go for the Texans. That ball game is over as Houston is leading by, I think, 3 touchdowns. I'll give you the score in a second. 32-12. So it's actually a 20-point lead. Not quite 3 touchdowns, but a 20-point lead for the Texans with only 3:42 left. It looks like Houston's going to beat the LA Chargers. Raptors trailing the Pistons by 2. It's 40-38 as Quickly knocks down the first free throw. Second one clean as well. The Raptors have it down to 1. Cunningham will bring it across center for Detroit. He's got 7 points, 4 assists in the ballgame. Comes around a screen set by Hardaway. He's picked up now by Jacoby Walter. Walter trying to stay attached to Cunningham, who got to the near elbow. Went left, spun back right, leans in, floats it up, got the bucket and the foul.
Looked like he created contact twice.
Yep.
The initial spin, Walter was there, and then leaned into him again.
42-29. Pistons leading. They'll have a chance to extend the lead a little bit more right now with Cunningham going to the line. Not only was it a foul potentially on Cunningham, I think he traveled as well,
I think he
Jonesy.
walked too.
And I'll tell you, I continue to give you props as I have for 20 years. Your theory about the wheels, good teams, bad teams, and getting stuck on one wheel. Well, take a look at what's happening to the Detroit Pistons. They were a bad team for a long time. Suddenly now they're a good team, or at least an improving team, and they've got an emerging star, and suddenly they're getting calls.
Let's be on the right wheel. Be on the right wheel.
Raptors got a triple from Emmanuel Quickly to cut it back down to 1, but the Pistons come the other way, and a breakdown defensively in the lane. And on top of that, didn't help that Olynyk fell to the floor, and he has been abused thus far in this game. Layup is good for Thompson. Pistons extend their lead back up to 3. 45-42, 7:25 to go, and now, guess what? The travel was just called against the Raptors, and we're going the other way on Toronto's 6th turnover.
Really interesting. Minuscule movement of RJ's right foot, the pivot foot. Aside from the fact that Cade Cunningham had a hand on his hip and may have been pushing him to cause that movement.
Detroit will bring it across center off that Raptor turnover. 45-42, they lead by 3. Cunningham on the near side, driving toward the baseline, cut off by Barrett, but he steps back and buries the baseline jumper from about 14 feet, extending the lead back to 5 for Detroit. Barrett looking for Dick in the corner. That one telegraphed, and another pickoff for the Pistons, a Raptor turnover. Driving, Thompson, far side, kicks out on the perimeter. Hardaway, 3-ball, front of the rim, no good. Rebound to Pirtle. He gives it to Quickly. Across, center comes Emmanuel. Toward the far sideline to Pirtle, back to Quickly. At the free throw line, he gives it back to Yak, cutting to the tin, missed the scoop layup. Yak has had a bit of an off night tonight, 2 of 6. And the Pistons just lost the handle. Some pressure there from Quickly on Hardaway, and Detroit gave it up for the 8th time in this game. We've got a timeout, Jonesy, with the Raptors trailing by 5.
The referees allowing some physicality by Cunningham on the defensive end, and Quickly allowed to do the same thing for the Raptors.
47-42, Detroit leads with 6:44 to go until half on Toronto Raptors basketball, brought to you by Tangerine Bank on the Sportsnet Radio Network, streaming on the Sportsnet app and at sportsnet.ca.
At Tangerine, we're fans of fans who are invested in the game. Like Mary, who stands 5 inches away from her 55-inch flat-screen TV and yells at it even though she knows no one on the TV can hear a word she's saying. Is it effective? There's no evidence. Do we support her? Yeah. Screaming at the TV for all 4 quarters. That's how Mary fans. And we're fans of Mary. This is how we fan. Tangerine, the official bank of the Toronto Raptors.
Hey, Raptor fans. What would you rather have? More money or more vacation? Whichever you pick, it's a win-win. Just like hitting the 50-50 jackpot. When you buy tickets to the MLSE Foundation Lottery, you support kids and youth in communities across Ontario. Last season, over $1 million in jackpot prizes were won. That means more money and more vacation. Talk about a true win-win? Visit 5050raps.com for your tickets today.
The Subaru winter has arrived. The crisp air and negative temperatures mean one thing: camping. Emerge from your icy tent and bask in 4 to 6 hours of sunlight. Enjoy the unmistakable smell of campfire through the glacial wind pummeling your face. Relax by the water, taking in the soothing sounds of thick ice cracking and popping. Get out there in winter like it's summer with standard symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive and advanced safety systems. Visit your local Subaru dealer today.
This is Toronto Raptors basketball on Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
Welcome back. Eric Smith, Paul Jones with you. 6:44 to go until halftime. Raptors trailing by 5. It's 47-42. Raptors getting 14 points from the birthday boy, Chris Boucher, in 11 minutes of action. Boucher is Toronto's leading scorer. In fact, he's the leading scorer in the ball game. On the other side for the Pistons, Cade Cunningham has 12 to go along with 5 assists. Detroit still shooting over 62% from the floor. They've had the offense cooking, Jonesy, but the Raptors still finding a way to stay in this game. And part of that reason is Toronto 6 of 13 from the perimeter. Pistons are 7 of 13, but on many nights the Raptors are not holding their own against their opponent in terms of three-point shooting. But tonight, thus far, knock on wood, they are.
And if you're the Raptors, you can look up and say, wow, a positive free throw differential for a change.
The night is young, my friend.
Yes, it is.
47-42, Raptors down 5. They've got the ball coming out of the timeout. Barrett over to Shed on the near side. Whips it into the corner to Grady Dick. 3-ball up and in for Grady. That's his first bucket of the game, only his second shot.
Again, Jamal Shed on the punch.
His third assist, Shed. Raptors have cut it to 2. Cunningham at the elbow near side. Goes over far sideline to Thompson. Thompson with a little shimmy on Walter. That looked like a travel as he got into the paint, turned, fired, and it's a foul on Walter, sending Thompson to the free throw line. I said shimmy because he shimmied and slid his feet before putting the ball on the floor.
He caught it with a right foot pivot foot and then moved that foot, pushed off the left to make the move. And this is where I have a bone to pick with the NBA, as they allow the fabric of the integrity of the game.
Ball don't lie.
Yeah, to continue to erode. Guys are making moves, carrying the ball. It's a move.
Yep.
And they're getting away with it and beating players. Well, if you call the carry, a guy doesn't get beat, there's no foul, all of that. If you call a walk, then there's no foul here. There's a travel. And I tell you, you start calling them like that, guys will be more careful.
So Thompson goes 1 of 2 at the line, hence the reason I said ball don't lie after he missed that first one. Pistons lead by 3. It's 48-45. As we approach the midway point of the quarter, Shed bounces a pass out on the perimeter to Barrett. Barrett went right, spins back left, gets into lane, floats one up, missed the shot. Pirtle couldn't squeeze, tried to tip it in, missed that one, and the Pistons control the rebound.
Didn't that look like the same type of contact on Cunningham?
It did. Cunningham has the ball right now, trying to go at Barnes. Leans in, steps back, missed the shot, too strong, picked up by Barrett. Raptors bust out. Barrett to Shed to Grady on the wing, near side. Grady Dick, triple is clean, and the Raptors have tied it at 48.
Great job by RJ to push it down into the lane before kicking out. Shed again with another great find.
Grady, Jonesy, with 5 triples in his last 3 games. He's already got 2 tonight. And again, we're tied at 48. Thompson out on the wing far side, going to elevate over Grady, and he knocks it down. Grady kind of just slapped at the ball, got stuck with his hand sort of in his pocket.
Well, you give Thompson that one. He's not a guy known as a three-point shooter.
51-48. Raptors come back. 3-ball for Barrett, no good. Rattled a couple of rims, but wouldn't go down. Raptors down 3 with 4:50 to go until half. Entry pass to Harris. He was behind Grady, and he blows the wide-open layup. Raptors catch a break. Can they take advantage? RJ, far side. Pirtle sets a screen, but Barrett stopped his dribble. He gives it up to Yak, who flicks the pass over on the near side above Thompson. Thompson looks like he's shaken free from cobwebs right now. No foul as Detroit comes the other way, and the Raptors make a defensive stop as Tim Hardaway was trying to go up and under with a layup attempt. How did the officials miss that? What was an obvious foul?
A lot of contact on Barrett's drive.
Pistons lead 51-48. Cunningham inbounds to Harris in the near corner. Turns, fires, and buries a triple to extend Detroit's lead to 6.
Well, RJ got caught on the screen by Juren.
54-48 with 4:10 to go until half. And the Raptors just gave it up. What a play, though, by Shed in the backcourt as he knocks the ball away from Cunningham. Jamal Shed with another defensive gem. He finds Grady Dick for 3, and the Raptors cut it to 3. Shed is doing so much.
Well, Shed saved Grady on a terrible decision on the turnover. Grady did haul his tail back to pick up the loose ball, and Shed said, okay, get it back with the 3.
Pistons have given up 17 points off turnovers. Raptors taking full advantage. Detroit leading 54-51. Thompson weaving through the lane, turns, fires over Pirtle, missed it, and a standing rebound to R.J. Barrett. He'll keep it himself and bring it across center. R.J. got a step on Cunningham, got to the tin and kissed it high off glass. Raptors cut it to 1.
Really nice job by R.J. continuing to push the dribble.
54-53. Tobias Harris to Jalen Duren. Duren crossed up Pirtle, got into the paint, was looking to give it up and had his pass picked off by Grady, but Grady couldn't control, and the ball stays with Detroit. Cunningham with 6 on the shot clock, finds Hardaway driving into the paint, leans in on Shed, didn't get the call, wanted it, and the Raptors pick up the rebound. Shed across center. Game clock down to 2:50, and now we have a timeout called by Toronto. In the middle of the possession, I guess Darko wanted to draw something up and maybe put a lot of focus on this possession, trying to take the lead here.
Yeah, good chance to do that. You were in a flow, though. Let's see what they draw.
With 2:49 to go until halftime, Raptors trailing by 1 on Toronto Raptors basketball. Brought to you by Tangerine Bank on the Sportsnet Radio Network, streaming on the Sportsnet app and at sportsnet.ca.
Hey, Raptor fans. What would you rather have? More money or more vacation? Whichever you pick, it's a win-win. Just like hitting the 50-50 jackpot. When you buy tickets to the MLSE Foundation Lottery, you support kids and youth in communities across Ontario. Last season, over $1 million in jackpot prizes were won. That means more money and more vacation. Talk about a true win-win? Visit 5050raps.com for your tickets today.
Alpine News Network is here live with one of our superheroes.
I don't want to say I'm a big deal, but I am a superhero. I love helping people consolidate their debts, and that's what I did for the Smiths. I took their bills and zoom, wha-bam, zap, turn them into one low monthly payment. No, the sound's not necessary, but it's part of the fun.
Own your home? Need a loan? Alpine Credits can help.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved. Just for license 12616.
No two people learn the exact same way. So how did Babbel become the award-winning language learning app? We thought of you, all of you. Take Sierra. As a visual learner, she uses Babbel's wordplay videos. Malcolm gets his accent right with Babbel's speech recognition.
Sur le point.
However you learn, Babbel makes it easy. Right now, go to babbel.com/radio to get 60% off. That's BABBEL.com/radio for 60% off.
This is Toronto Raptors basketball on Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
Welcome back. Eric Smith, Paul Jones with you, approaching half. 2:49 to play. Raptors trailing 53. Toronto up to 50% from the floor. And the Pistons have dropped to 55%. And that's saying something, Jonesy. They were above 63% at the end of the first quarter. And they started the game, in fact, 11 of 14 for 79%. So the Raptor defense starting to bring that number down for Detroit as their number rises. A solid outing thus far in this first half for Toronto.
All right. Get the ball in. First things first. Get the ball in and make sure everybody's on the same page with their execution. Well, Detroit called for a technical foul. That's what I thought the signal was from referee Suya Shmeda.
Grady Dick at the line, knocks it down, and ties the game now at 54. So out of the timeout, the Raptors will have a chance to grab the lead. They've had the lead once in this ball game, and it lasted not long, and it was a 1-point lead. A bucket here would be their largest lead of the game as Barnes backs Harris down, turns, fires, misses the jumper from the baseline near side. He's fouled by Tobias Harris, and he's going to go to the free throw line for two.
Pretty simple play. Clear the side for Scotty, give it to him, back down, go to work, make the decision.
Barnes hits the free throw to give the Raptors a 1-point lead.
Eric, thinking about this game, shoe's kind of on the other foot right now, right? Raptors traded OG last year, went into Detroit with Detroit on a losing streak of biblical proportions, and Detroit beats them. A little bit different now where Detroit's the better team and Toronto's coming in with an 8-win team.
Speaking of 8, an 8-0 scoring run for the Raptors over the last minute 15. And a very, very ticky-tack foul just called against R.J. Barrett away from the ball that had little to no impact on the play. Pistons inbound from the side, trailing by 2. Cunningham has it, comes around a Duran screen, gives it up to Malik Beasley into the lane, floats it up off 1 foot, it goes. We're tied at 56. 2:24 to go here in the first half. Quickly brings it across center for the Raptors. On that logo at center, now driving toward the far side, still above the arc, goes up top to Scotty Barnes. Barnes fakes the pass, gets into the paint, stops on a dime, jumper no good, long rebound comes out. Barrett tracks it down, keeps it alive, fresh 14. Barnes over on the sideline, far side to quickly, 3-ball, left short, and Grady Dick mistimed his jump, looking for the tip. It goes over his head and into the hands of the Pistons. Beasley weaving through traffic at the free throw line, now toward the block, far side, off glass, missed it. Rebound, picked up by Quickly. Raptors have numbers as they bust out the other way. Now the Pistons get back, but it doesn't matter as Barrett with the fancy footwork splits defenders, lays it in, and puts Toronto on top by 2.
Really nice job by RJ. He's really good in transition when he can get downhill and get to the basket.
58-56. Hardaway, 3-ball, gives Detroit the lead by 1.
Cunningham with the punch. Grady trying to help and recover.
Quickly back the other way in the lane, took the contact as he was falling out of the painted area, his body going in the opposite direction, and he threw it up across his body, got the bucket, and won. A 3-point opportunity for Quickly, who's got a very quiet 11 in the ballgame, second leading scorer for the Raptors.
Yeah, doing a nice job. He's making free throws. That's really helping him, and he's going to get another one right now.
Takes a deep breath at the stripe with the Raptors leading by 1. 1:25 left in this first half as the free throw goes down for Quickly. He's got 12 points, adding a rebound and an assist for good measure. Detroit will bring it across center toward the far side. Cunningham has it. He's got Scotty Barnes on his left hip. Comes around that Duran screen, thought about the 3, stops his dribble, now fires over on the wing near side to Harris. Harris jabbing at Barrett a couple of times, puts it on the floor, drives into the paint, fires up the jumper, got the bucket, and they blow a whistle on Barrett. It'll be an and one opportunity for Harris.
Eric, there's my circle theory. That's terrible. The same call at the other end when Thompson bodied Barrett, and there was the lack of consistency is an absolute nightmare.
So now Harris goes to the stripe with a chance to give Detroit a 1-point lead. We're locked at 61. Harris, free throw is good. He's got 13 points. 4 Pistons already in double figures in this first half. The Raptors have 3. As Quickly comes across center. Fires it over to Pirtle, who drops it back to quickly on the wing far side. Steps into a 3-ball and buries it. He's got 15 to lead all scores.
Terrific job by Pirtle.
Across center, Cunningham. Under a minute to go. In fact, we're down to 50 seconds. Cunningham spins at the free throw line, passes out to Hardaway for 3, and we're now trading triples.
Overhelped by Quickly. Scotty was with Cunningham and Quickly got detached, and Hardaway got open.
65-64. Detroit by 1. Barrett, baseline near side, runs into Cunningham, and they're going to call the charge on R.J. Barrett.
Wow. Cunningham, straight up and down like a stick man, gets hit in the shoulder. Gets hit in the right shoulder. I think Darko should review that. He's thinking about it. Or the timeout call to get Shed into the game.
He was thinking about it because he immediately looked at his bench, Joseph.
That's a dreadful call.
Third personal foul on R.J. Barrett as well. And we'll see if Detroit can take advantage. They can't. The Raptors just forced a turnover as they got a hand in the pass lane there, and they come the other way with the ball off Detroit's 10th turnover of the half. That was Pirtle that made the play. Quickly's got it towards center. Raptors have to give it up before the end of the half with about a 5.5-second differential, shot clock, game clock. Quickly still holding the ball with the shot clock down to 5. Now driving high off glass, missed the shot. The tip from Pirtle is good. Raptors lead 66-65. 6.6 to go. Cunningham across center. Splits defenders, gets to the tin, and blows the left-handed dunk. Heave at the buzzer from Barnes, no good. But the Raptors still head into the locker room with a 1-point lead.
Cunningham got away with a walk. That was one of those LeBron James memes that you see on the internet. Darko being led off the court by his assistant coaching staff, upset at the travel. And the no call, but again, maybe like you said, Eric, the ball don't lie, that Cunningham missed a wide open dunk.
So the Raptors trailed by as many as 13 in the first half. They come back to take a 1-point lead going into the break as Emmanuel Quickly leads the way with 15 points for Toronto. Tim Hardaway Jr. 16 for the Pistons. But Toronto shooting 50% going into the break, leading by 1, 66-65. When we come back, halftime show with Amit Mann, and then Jonesy and I return for second half action on Toronto Raptors basketball, brought to you by Tangerine Bank on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Hey, Raptor fans, what would you rather have? More money or more vacation? Whichever you pick, it's a win-win. Just like hitting the 50-50 jackpot. When you buy tickets to the MLSE Foundation Lottery, you support kids and youth in communities across Ontario. Last season, over $1 million in jackpot prizes were won. That means more money and more vacation. Talk about a true win-win? Visit 5050raps.com for your tickets today.
At last, the Subaru winter is here. It's the perfect weather for the beach. Feel the sun's rays on the small amount of skin peeking out of your ski mask. Put on your beach puffer and hear the sound of the waves crashing over the chatter of your teeth. Get out there in winter like it's summer with standard symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive and advanced safety systems. Visit your local Subaru dealer today.
Have you wanted to speak a new language but thought it would be too difficult or time-consuming? Then it's time to try Babbel. Babbel works because it's built around real life. It teaches you practical conversations that you will actually use. So with just 15 minutes a day, you'll be on your way to speaking in a new language in just a few weeks. Babbel, language for life. Right now, Babbel is offering radio listeners 55% off their subscription. Visit babbel.com/radio. That's BABBEL.com/radio for 55% off.
The 2025 Honda Civic Hybrid is here, and it may sound too good to be true. With a 2-liter 4-cylinder backed by 2 electric motors, giving a combined 200 horsepower, it's our most powerful and fuel-efficient Civic ever. Plus, with an estimated range of over 800 kilometers and available features like a Bose premium sound system, your crew will love it too. Maybe it should be called the Civic 2.0. Redefine your drive with the 2025 Civic Hybrid. Visit your Ontario Honda dealer and test drive yours today.
This is Toronto Raptors basketball on Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
Hello, my name is Amit Van. Tonight's halftime is brought to you by your Ontario Honda dealers. Redefine your drive with the 2025 Civic Hybrid. Get performance and get in the game with the Civic Hybrid, available now at your Ontario Honda dealers. So the Raptors currently up 66-65 against the Detroit Pistons. A very high-scoring affair so far. Chris Boucher came off the bench with a quick 14 points. Was amazing. Just continuing to hit his shots from three. IQ has 15. RJ Barrett has 9. Grady Dick had a plethora of threes in a very short amount of time. He has 10. Jamal Shed, 5 very loud assists. He was awesome too. On the other side of things, Cade Cunningham, 12 points, 10 assists in the first half. He's been a problem. Tim Hardaway, 16. Tobias Harris, 13. Malik Beasley, 10 points. The Raptors are shooting 50% from the field and 50% from three. Meanwhile, the Pistons, 57% from the field, 65% from three. And points off turnovers, both teams, they turned the ball over 9 times, but the Raptors have a 17-9 points advantage off of turnovers. So they're taking advantage of that kind of stuff. We'll continue breaking down the first half when we return, so stick around. You are listening to Toronto Raptors basketball, brought to you by Tangerine on the Sportsnet Radio Network, streaming on the Sportsnet app and sportsnet.ca.
From the chicken experts at Swiss Chalet, it's our new chicken farm. Hand-breaded, cheesy, delicious. And add a beverage for a chance to win a trip to Italy or California wine country. Our new chicken farm, only $17.99, only at Swiss Chalet. Limited time, taxes extra. Visit SwissChalet.com for full details.
No two people learn the exact same way. So how did Babbel become the award-winning language learning app? We thought of you, all of you. Take Sierra. As a visual learner, she uses Babbel's wordplay videos. Malcolm gets his accent right with Babbel's speech recognition.
Sur le point.
However you learn, Babbel makes it easy. Right now, go to babbel.com/radio to get 60% off. That's BABBEL.com/radio for 60% off.
It's your business. You built it yourself. Let Rogers Sports and Media help to make it grow. There's now an easy way to get your business on the air with our radio station or our entire audio network. It's called Rogers Sports and Media Ad Manager. Designed for businesses of all sizes, RSM Ad Manager is self-serve and simple. Get a $250 ad credit to get started, and your audio can be produced at no extra cost. Visit grow.rogersportsandmedia.com for details.
Stone-baked pizzas taste better. Conveyor pizzas can't compare. Treat yourself to the best Stone-baked pizza with Pizzaville's pickup specials. Order a large 3-topping plus 2 dips, only $16.99. Call 416-736-3636.
Join us to heal the future for SickKids patients. Every unique child SickKids sees comes to the hospital.
For cystic fibrosis. I really like Dr. Solomon because she makes me feel like I can be whoever I dream to be. When people give money to sick kids, it goes to heal the future for kids like me.
Help sick kids heal more futures. Donate today at healthefuture.ca.
Ugh, these vacation prices are really adding up. Flights, hotels.
Are your vacation plans going off-road? I'm a Sunwing financial advisor, saving you money while giving you more.
Did you say financial advisor?
Yeah, Sunwing Financial Advisor. There are thousands of us across Canada cracking the code on vacation savings so you can crack open that SPF.
Huh, that makes so much financial sense.
Book with your local travel advisor or at...
This is Toronto Raptors basketball on Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
Welcome back to the halftime show. My name's Amit Mann. 66-65 for the Raptors over the Detroit Pistons. So far, a very high-scoring game from these teams. They're shooting the ball from three at a pretty efficient rate, and that's overall, just they're shooting the ball really well all across the board. They're getting to the paint, they're hitting their threes, they're getting the defenses moving in different ways. Starting with some of the things that could be a little bit better for the Toronto Raptors, and it really does start and end with Cade and how they're deciding to defend him. He has 12 points and 10 assists at halftime. And, they've been trying to keep up. Cade he's so shifty, so crafty. He plays at his own pace. It's kind of like Luka in a way, but not at the same level. But you can't really get Cade out of rhythm. And so you have to find ways to get him out of his comfort zone. I think you have to do that by getting the ball out of his hands. But aside from that, like the Pistons, they shot the ball all from three, right? They're hitting their shots. A lot of them were wide open, but I think you have to pick and choose where you want to sacrifice and what you're going to let happen. I think they got to make sure that they get the ball out of Cade's hands. And that's doubling, that's blitzing pick and rolls, whatever the case is. And in that case, you got to make sure that your back end rotations are really strong, and that's been a weak point for the Raptors since, at the beginning of the season. So hopefully they can figure that out. But on the offensive side of things, yeah, the ball was flowing, and Scottie was pretty quiet overall. I mean, aside from really like the first quarter, a 19-2 run by the Pistons, they came out strong, and the Raptors certainly did not. And he got a bit of a quick hook in that first quarter because he just didn't have the energy, but he certainly did bring the prerequisite energy as the game went on. But when he did go off, Chris Boucher came in, and if you didn't know, he's rocking a fro today, and there's a reason he's doing that. He uses the fro to channel his inner Ben Wallace, and obviously they're facing the Pistons. Ben Wallace was a center for the Pistons for many years. He won a championship with them, so he's not shooting the ball like like Ben Wallace, but he's certainly shooting the ball like Chris Boucher at his high level. Like right now, he's got 14 points. They were down by 13-14 at one point, and he brought them back with some corner three, with some wing threes in transition. He was awesome. He actually single-handedly brought them back into this game. That was cool. And Jamal Shed, he's got 5 assists, and those assists, those weren't just like you're being gifted something by the person doing the score sheet. No, those are like spraying it out, driving, kicking. He found Grady Dick 3 times for 3. And if you were following the Raptors over the past few weeks, that Grady's been having some issues just getting rhythm with the team, being pretty much fully healthy. And he's been kind of just getting lower and lower in the pecking order within their offense. And it looked to me like Jamal Shed was going out of his way to help out Grady, saying, all right, let's get Grady going, because he could have taken more shots. But he decided not to, and he was finding him, and Grady hit 3 threes in 2 minutes and 36 seconds in the second quarter. Pretty good shooter. He looked very confident. And then IQ with a very quiet 15 points, pretty efficient 15 points from him. Like there wasn't like a blitz or anything like that came from him, but he was just been consistently doing his thing, getting out in transition, scoring the ball, along with RJ Barrett too. He was pretty good in transition as well. Obviously, his Euro steps are obviously very potent, and he's able to, make that bump. And right from there, he's got the defender on their heels, and he's going to the basket. Now, Scottie, he again was a little bit quiet. He did have a few nice jumpers in the second quarter, but they're going to need more from him because he's their guy, and they're going to rely on him to continue being that guy for them. And Jakob Poeltl, his hands are a little bit sticky at the moment, or at least it would be better if they were stickier, because then you'd be able to hold on to the ball and shoot a little bit better. He shot 3 of 7 in that first half, 6 points, 6 rebounds. Him finishing around the basket a little bit more. They probably could have had, 70 points at the very least if he was able to hit on some of those shots that he typically does. But the shots are going in for the Raptors. They're getting good shots out of their offense. The drive and kick game is going really strong for them. And hopefully they can continue, but they got to contain Cade. That is the key. Eric and Paul got you from here for the second half. I will talk to you after the game. Hopefully, talking to Raptors win. You are listening to Toronto Raptors basketball, brought to you by Tangerine on the Sportsnet Radio Network, streaming on the Sportsnet app and sportsnet.ca.
Have you wanted to speak a new language but thought it would be too difficult or time-consuming? Then it's time to try Babbel. Babbel works because it's built around real life. It teaches you practical conversations that you will actually use. So with just 15 minutes a day, you'll be on your way to speaking in a new language in just a few weeks. Babbel, language for life. Right now, Babbel is offering radio listeners 55% off their subscription. Visit babbel.com/radio. That's BABBEL.com/radio for 55% off.
You missed the boat on Bitcoin, but financial freedom is still within reach. For a mere $19.99, you can get all-you-can-eat boneless chicken at your local St. Louis Bar and Grill. And for a limited time, there's no tax on restaurant meals and beer. Maybe treat yourself to something nice, like an extra garlic dill sauce. All-you-can-eat boneless chicken for only $19.99. Visit St. Louis Bar and Grill today. Dine in only. You are welcome.
We have a plan that's connecting Ontario. We're building new roads and highways like the Bradford Bypass and Highway 413 to shorten your daily commute by up to an hour. And adding more lanes to reduce gridlock on some of North America's busiest routes to keep you and our economy moving forward. Also, you can get around faster, safer, easier. See what we're building in your community at ontario.ca/builds. Paid for by the Government of Ontario.
You probably think a pizza's just a pizza, right? Not at Pizza Nova. I'm Dominic Fernucci from Pizza Nova, inviting you to taste the difference.
439 Pizza Nova. 439 Pizza Nova.
We are gathered here today to celebrate life's big milestones. Do you promise to stand together through home purchases, auto upgrades, and surprise dents and dings?
We do.
To embrace life's big moments for any adorable co-drivers down the road?
We do.
Then, with the caring support of Desjardins Insurance, I pronounce you covered for home, auto, and flexible life insurance.
For life's big milestones, get insurance that's really big on care at Desjardins.com/care.
This is Toronto Raptors basketball on Sportsnet 590. The Fan.
Welcome back. Eric Smith, Paul Jones with you, getting set to start the second half. Again, the Raptors leading at the break 66-65. Both teams over 50% from the floor. The Raptors an even 50. Pistons at 57. But Jonesy, Detroit gave up 19 points off 10 turnovers in the first half.
I was going to revisit some of our keys, Eric, as we start the second half.
Let's do it.
Control Cade Cunningham, well, not so much. 12 and 9. Couple of rebounds and 5 of 10 from the floor. So that has to become or continue to try and be a focus for the Raptors. And then the other stuff, though, doing a decent job. You talked about plus 10 in the points off turnover category and shooting the ball, keeping up with the Pistons. And like I said, what do you know? A positive free throw differential for a change.
Detroit starts the second half with the ball. And as Cunningham tries to make something out of it, the ball goes off Scotty Barnes' foot out of bounds. Pistons inbound, and they end up getting a bucket nevertheless as Cunningham got to the rim, got it to go, and puts Detroit on top by one at 67-66. Pirtle. 6 points, 6 boards in the first half. In the heart of the lane to Scotty, who kind of shook right, looked like he was going to go right, and instead turned to his left, fired on the jumper, and got it to go.
Little mini dream shake and great patience and spacing running that first play coming out of the locker room.
68-67. Cunningham again in the paint, turns, fires over. Grady missed the shot. Rebound controlled by Emmanuel quickly toward the near sideline. He brings it up across center. He's got Duren in front of him, steps back, elevates for the triple over the big man, missed it. Scotty Barnes cleaned it up, had his shot blocked. He wanted a call, didn't get it against Thompson, and the Pistons have the ball. Thompson driving, floats it up, alley-oop finish for Duren, and Detroit leads by one.
Interesting, Thompson runs over quickly with more and more face-on contact than Barrett, yet no call.
69-68, Detroit by one. Barrett over on the near sideline, more so the wing to Quickly, buries the three ball quickly with his third triple of the game, and the Raptors lead 71-69. Just over 90 seconds gone by here in this third quarter. Cunningham bobbled the ball, picks it up, fires it over to Thompson. Thompson now trying to go at Grady Dick, got into the lane. Some help came from Pirtle. Thompson lost the ball, gets it back again, finds Duren. Shot clock down to 5. Duren out to Tobias Harris, far sideline, missed the three. Somehow Scotty Barnes had his back turned and end up with a rebound to Cunningham, but then Barnes blocked Cunningham. Ball goes out of bounds off Toronto. It'll stay with Detroit with 12 on the shot clock.
Former teammates in high school at Montverde Academy.
(71-69), Raptors by 2. Hardaway on the baseline near side, caught it off the inbound, turned, fired, and got the floater to go. We're locked at 71. Hardaway's played well tonight, 18 points for Detroit.
Wow.
Barrett just got hammered in the lane across his forearms right in front of the official. No call.
Nick Buchert, what are you looking at? Like he was hit on, like at the elbow joint.
Barrett catches the inbound from Quickly to Pirtle, out to Barnes. Barnes at the free throw line now. Weaves through traffic, left hand scoop and finish. He got contacted as well, no call, but at least he got the deuce. Corner triple is in for Hardaway on the other end, and he has been the elixir tonight. 6 of 7 from distance. That 3-ball puts Detroit on top by 1.
Well, it's not like you don't know he's going to do that.
Barrett back in the lane. This time he gets bumped and fouled, and they actually blow the whistle, and RJ's going to the free throw line.
Well, that's a given. RJ's probably saying you still owe me one.
74-73, Detroit on top by 1. Again, Tim Hardaway Jr. tonight, 7 of 10 from the floor, including 6 of 7 from distance, with a team-high, game-high 21 points. Barrett at the line, dips, fires on the first free throw, and it goes in. We're tied at 74.
Hardaway Jr., a 37% three-point shooter. You know that's what he does. You have to be aware.
Second free throw coming now for Barrett, and that one up, no good, off the front of the rim. Pirtle tips it, but into the hands of Harris, who gives it to Cunningham. So Barrett, 1 of 2 at the stripe, 2 for 4 in the game. He's got 10 points in the game to go along with 5 rebounds and a steal. Raptors and Pistons locked at 74. Harris at the free throw line. Little stop and go, and then had the ball poked away by R.J. Barrett. Loose ball down on the floor toward center, picked up by Toronto. Pirtle ahead to Barrett. Barrett took contact again, no call. The tip from Pirtle, no good, and Detroit has it. They come across center with the ball. On the wing far side, up fake to the 10, scoop it in. Hardaway gets the bucket and the foul. 3-point opportunity coming for Tim Hardaway Jr.
Well, at least that time they ran him off the line, but nobody there to clog the lane.
And we'll keep you updated, folks. As I said, with the last football game, we're into the second one now with the Ravens and Steelers approaching the midway point of the opening quarter. No score. Again, we will update you on that game throughout the evening, as the Raptors and Pistons have been locked in a pretty solid battle here, with Detroit leading by 2 and now 3 as Hardaway makes the free throw. 24 points in the ballgame for Tim Hardaway Jr., his dad, Tim Sr., in attendance in Detroit, watching with a close eye. 77-74, Detroit on top. Barnes out on the far wing, comes around a Pirtle screen, fires the pass, near corner. Grady Dick wide open, triple is good. He's dialed in tonight.
Well, great job, Raptors, moving Grady from one side to the other.
Cunningham around a screen set by Duran, into the lane, goes far corner to Harris. Harris now driving on Barrett, stops on a dime just below the far elbow, buries the jumper from 12 feet, got it to go. Pistons leading by 2. Quickly to Pirtle, near sideline. Barrett wide open 3-ball. RJ missed it. Tracked down by Pirtle, tapped it out to Barnes. Second chance opportunity for Toronto. Grady to Quickly, driving, scooping, missing, and Detroit controls the rebound.
A really nice job by Toronto. Good offensive sequence. Had a couple of good looks that they couldn't finish.
Thompson high-stepping his way through traffic for Detroit. Missed the shot. Raptors grab the rebound. Across center comes Barrett. Barrett with Thompson on his hip. Turns and fires to Quickly. Back to RJ. Far wing 3-ball. Way too strong. Duran with the rebound. Detroit still leading by 2. 79-77. Duran driving into the lane. Leans in on Pirtle. That's going to be a charge, and we're going the other way.
Really good job by Jakob. You could see that one coming, and you knew Duran was not going to his left.
79-77. Detroit leading by 2. 7:28 to go in the third quarter. And we've got a timeout on the floor, charged to Toronto. So we'll step aside for the break. With Toronto down 2, it's Toronto Raptors basketball, brought to you by Tangerine Bank on the Sportsnet Radio Network, streaming on the Sportsnet app and at sportsnet.ca.
Hey, Raptor fans, what would you rather have? More money or more vacation? Whichever you pick, it's a win-win, just like hitting the 50-50 jackpot. When you buy tickets to the MLSE Foundation Lottery, you support kids and youth in communities across Ontario. Last season, over $1 million in jackpot prizes were won. That means more money and more vacation. Talk about a true win-win? Visit 5050raps.com for your tickets today.
Alpine News Network is here live with one of our superheroes.
Joe and Lucy needed a new roof and reached out to Alpine Credits. I flew over to help them with a home renovation loan. I suggested they transform their house into a giant robot head, beams that shoot from the eyes. Pew, pew! Instead, they just went with shingles. But it's pretty glorious.
Own your home? Need a loan? Alpine Credits can help.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved.
Just for license 12616.
The Subaru winter has arrived. The crisp air and negative temperatures mean one thing: camping. Emerge from your icy tent and bask in 4 to 6 hours of sunlight. Enjoy the unmistakable smell of campfire through the glacial wind pummeling your face. Relax by the water, taking in the soothing sounds of thick ice cracking and popping. Get out there in winter like it's summer with standard symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive and advanced safety systems. Visit your local Subaru dealer today.
This is Toronto Raptors basketball on Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
Welcome back. Eric Smith, Paul Jones with you. 7:28 to go in the third
review,
quarter.
The defender gets into a legal position, and the first point of contact is from the shoulder into the chest of Duren, from Duren. The call is unsuccessful. It is an offensive foul on Duren. It will be Toronto's ball on the side. Since they are challenging during Toronto's timeout, Detroit will be in short timeout instead. It will be Toronto's ball.
All right, so I cut myself off so that you could hear the voice of Nick Buchert, the official, as Detroit, during that timeout, opted to challenge the call, and they lost. So the Raptors maintained possession, trailing by 2. And in the out-of-town scoreboard, in the playoff game between the Steelers and Ravens, Baltimore has scored on a touchdown pass from Lamar Jackson to Rashad Bateman with about 4.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Baltimore strikes first, 7-0. Raptors looking to get their second road win of the season, their first on this 3-game road trip, and carry some momentum into their next game at home on Monday against the Warriors. They're currently down by 2. Quickly fires a pass, cross-court, left-right, over to Barrett. RJ misses the 3 ball. He's 0 for 6 from distance tonight. Cunningham with Barrett on his hip, gets into the lane, floats it up to Duren. Great job there by Pirtle to knock it away. He kind of got in that pass lane to disrupt things for Detroit. Pistons will keep it on the baseline. They will inbound with 13 on the shot clock. They get it into Duren. Duren hands off to Cunningham. Cunningham straight away. Far elbow jumper over Pirtle. Hit the front of the rim, no good. And Barnes comes in to grab the rebound, then gets hit in the face by Jalen Duren. Duren now pleading with the officials that he didn't actually touch Barnes, and he says that Barnes is trying to sell it. Either way, we're going the other way, Raptor ball.
Well, that's how Barnes got the broken orbital bone in the first place.
Well, and he did get hit. The replay shows he got hit in the face.
Elbow from Jokic, and he got hit in the jaw.
79-77, Detroit leading by 2, quickly across center, finds Pirtle. Pirtle out to Grady, driving to the Tim. Grady switched hands midair and got blocked on a left-hand scoop. Detroit finding Hardaway, wide open 3 on the near side, goes in for Tim Hardaway Jr.
How can you leave him open? Retreating in transition, just standing there. When you're running back, you have to survey the court.
Pistons still shooting 57% from the floor. The Raptors have plummeted to 44. Quickly kicks out to Grady. Good look at a 3 straight away. Left it short off the front of the rim. Tobias Harris picks up the rebound, far sideline. He brings it across center. Now gives it up to Beasley on the near side. Malik Beasley above the arc. Goes over toward the far elbow to Duren, picked off by Pirtle. And Yak brings it across center to Grady. Driving on the near side, got to the baseline. Goes cross court to Barrett. Cross court to Quickly. To Pirtle, turns, fires, one-hand floater, no good. Tip from Barrett, no good. And it's been a very off night for Jakob Pirtle, 3 of 9, and those floaters just not dropping for the big man. Raptors trailing by 5. It's 82-77. Give you the Raptors shooting percentage in this quarter in just a couple of moments. 5:40 to go in the third frame. Harris came into the lane, threw up a wild left-hander, missed it, and the Raptors grabbed the rebound. Barrett drops it to Barnes, far wing. Triple is good. A pull-up for RJ to Scotty, and Scotty buried it from 25 feet to cut the Detroit lead to 2.
Nice job in transition there by Toronto. Got to pick up that defense, though.
Raptors just 5 of 17 in this quarter, but clearly a big one right there as Detroit leads 82-80 with 5:29 to go in the third on Toronto Raptors basketball, brought to you by Tangerine Bank on the Sportsnet Radio Network, streaming on the Sportsnet app and at sportsnet.ca.
The 2025 Honda Civic Hybrid is here, and it may sound too good to be true. With a 2-liter 4-cylinder backed by 2 electric motors, giving a combined 200 horsepower, it's our most powerful and fuel-efficient Civic ever. Plus, with an estimated range of over 800 kilometers and available features like a Bose premium sound system, your crew will love it too. Huh, maybe it should be called the Civic 2.0. Redefine your drive with the 2025 Civic Hybrid. Visit your Ontario Honda dealer and test drive yours today.
At Newboro, we develop unique plans so people can unlock the equity in their home. Unique like this one. It's called the Jacksons Plan. Christopher and Gabrielle's son is off to school to play soccer and study engineering. Go Quinton. They were juggling the cost of school, their current debts, and needed a specialized plan of attack. So now, while others only dream about goals, Quinton can score them. Reach out today. We'll work side by side to unlock the equity in your home.
Use your home to get a loan with Newboro.
License 13115.
We all know things tend to break when you need them most, like your furnace breaking down in the middle of a cold snap. That's why Enercare is offering a free furnace checkup for homeowners in the GTA. That's a $99 value. If your furnace has any issues, our Enercare experts can fix it, or we can get you a new one as soon as the next day. Don't get stuck shivering. Keep your home comfortable with Enercare. Terms and conditions apply. Visit enercare.ca.
Enercare, experts at home.
This is Toronto Raptors basketball on Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
Welcome back, Eric Smith, Paul Jones with you. 5:29 to go. Third quarter, Raptors trailing by 2, 82-80. 27 points in the ballgame for Tim Hardaway Jr. He's the leading scorer on the other side for the Raptors. Emmanuel quickly with 18. He's got a couple of rebounds and 2 assists in the ballgame as well. Thanks for tuning into the Sportsnet Radio Network on a Saturday night. Chris Boucher's birthday, by the way. Boucher off the bench with 14 points in 11 minutes. We have yet to see him in the second half. And, of course, in Detroit, always a ton of Raptor fans from southwestern Ontario who make the trek across the border. Heck, there's some from southern Ontario, period, that I'm sure come from the GTA to make the trip to Detroit. And, folks, if you haven't done so, you should. Great arena, and they've done a solid job over the last 5-10 years of really cleaning up downtown Detroit.
Yeah, very, very revitalized and really a thriving hub.
Hurdle, great pass down low to RJ Barrett, but Cunningham comes out of nowhere to block RJ right at the rim. Triple no good for the Pistons. Raptors controlled the rebound off the miss from Cunningham. Shed ahead to Grady. Along the baseline, bumped by Cunningham. Grady smartly threw the ball up at the rim. And the Raptors were trying to take advantage yet again in transition. They got the ball down the floor in a hurry.
Yeah, Darko likes that. You kind of understand the philosophy. They want to run. They want to get it up the floor quickly. Kind of over center in 3 seconds and then start looking for the shot. Good job there.
4:49 to go in the third quarter. Foul was on the floor, clearly. Grady, as I said, threw it up when he heard the whistle, but that was well after the contact. Shed trying to drive in, cut off, goes back out toward the perimeter to Pirtle. Pirtle nearly traveled as he finds Boucher. The pass was deflected by Detroit. They force a turnover. Raptors' 11th miscue, and back the other way on a scoop. Beasley is fouled, and Malik Beasley is going to go to the free throw line.
I'd like to see Jakob obey the first rule of basketball on offense when you catch the ball. Face the basket. Turn, face. That puts a defender on notice. And then if you want to pivot back and go into your dribble handoff series or they're running a split off him, but he caught that ball. He never looked at the basket, so the defender knew he was never a threat to score. And when you step away from the basket and they push up on you, you're acquiescing and giving up that space that you're entitled to when you turn and square up.
Beasley knocks down the first free throw to give the lead to Detroit by 3. It's 83-80, looking for one more right here. Beasley with 11 off the bench, give him 12 as the free throw is good. The lead extends to 4 for Detroit. Again, the Raptors have struggled with their shooting in this quarter, but they're still certainly well in this game, only down by 4 points. 84-80, 4:25 to go in the quarter. Pirtle trying to get free from Stewart out on the perimeter, now handing it off to Shed. Shed getting to the free throw line, turns, fires, jumper's good for Jamal Shed.
Pirtle's turned, couple of dribbles trying to attack, and then the cuts allowed Shed to get free.
Cunningham across center for the Pistons. 13 assists in the ballgame for Cunningham to go along with 6 rebounds and 14 points. In the corner, he gives it up to Holland, near corner, back up top to Cunningham. Shot clock down to 7. Cunningham trying to get free from Barrett. Gave him a couple shakes on the crossover dribble, got to the tin, fouled at the rim, and he's going to get 2 free throws.
Thought RJ did a pretty good job. I'm taking a look at the replay on the Detroit feed to see where the foul was.
3:49 to go, third quarter. Cunningham heads to the free throw line to extend the Pistons lead, or at least try to. They're up by 2, 84-82. Cunningham spins the ball in his hands and knocks down the first free throw. Kelly Olynyk's going to check into the ballgame, and Jonesy, that's one to keep an eye on, as Olynyk was
targeted.
Targeted is a good word, yep. The Pistons really went at him defensively multiple times in the first half. Second free throw coming here for Cunningham. And that one clean as well. The lead back up to 4 for Detroit. Jamal Shed across center for the Raptors. And we got a foul coming in against Isaiah Stewart away from the ball.
Pirtle trying to, or Olynyk trying to set himself up to give Shed a screen, and Isaiah Stewart just grabbed his arm.
Raptors inbound from the near sideline. 17 on the shot clock as Shed gets it into Barnes. Barnes looks like he's going to try and go at Cunningham. Trying to make his way down toward the block. He's leaning in on Cunningham. Turns, fires, jumper, back rim, no good. Tough break for Scotty. 4 of 11 in the ball game for Barnes. Beasley. Far corner. Holland 3-ball is good. The Pistons have not slowed down all night. 63.6% from the perimeter. 3-ball near corner. Shed answers back for Toronto. A big bucket there as Detroit, Jonesy, had extended their lead to 7. Raptors cut it down to 4.
How calm and poised does that young man look for a rookie?
Very.
And again,
very.
Not necessarily a young man, a 4-year player from a good program in university.
Cunningham to Fontecchio. 3-ball no good. Long rebound comes out, though, controlled by Holland. They find Beasley, far sideline, air ball, cleaned up by Fontecchio, contested there by Boucher, but the bucket still good for Fontecchio. Pistons lead by 6. Olynyk over to Shed, far sideline. Shed puts it on the floor, drives in the paint, takes contact, and 1. Jamal Shed.
Great job. The catch by Shed, and Beasley with bad positioning had the left foot closest to Shed. That's the foot that Shed attacked and got into the lane. Great read by Jamal Shed.
Shed steps at the stripe with 9 points and 5 assists in 13 minutes. And I'll tell you, Davion Mitchell, I think, has played very well this season.
Yep.
Among the best guard defenders in the league, certainly on the perimeter. But yet he can't get onto the floor right now because Jamal Shed is playing so well.
Well, Jamal is a very good defender as well.
And probably a better playmaker.
And he's showing better offense, which is putting him on the floor ahead of Davion.
91-88. Raptors cut the Pistons lead to 3, but Detroit extends it back up to 6 on another deep 3-ball. Sasser knocks it down.
Well, the defensive assignment, not talking, guys get confused, and he gets a practice shot. Sasser gets a practice shot.
Far sideline, it's Shed. Stops his dribble, finds Barnes in the far corner. Trying to go at Fontecchio, spins toward the baseline. Double team came. Scotty passes out to Olynyk, to Brown. 3-ball is good. Contested, doesn't matter. Bruce Brown buries it.
Started with Scotty getting 2 feet into the paint, drive kick, and the swing by Olynyk.
94-91, Detroit leading with 1:40 to go in the third quarter. Stewart on the perimeter, handing it off now to Sasser. Sasser, far side, just below the far elbow, knocks down the contested jumper.
Yeah, I can't leave him. Can't leave him. You know, he comes free on the switch. You got to be up on that guy.
96-91, 5-point lead for Detroit. Olynyk holding the ball, finds Barnes, and that's deflected away by Detroit. It'll stay with Toronto, 10 on the shot clock.
I like the split action. Jamal and Scotty involved screening and then re-screening for one another.
96-91 with 1:19 to go in the third quarter. And we've got another timeout charged to the Raptors, so we're going to step aside for the break. With Toronto down 5, it's Toronto Raptors basketball, brought to you by Tangerine Bank on the Sportsnet Radio Network, streaming on the Sportsnet app and at sportsnet.ca.
We all know things tend to break when you need them most, like your furnace breaking down in the middle of a cold snap. That's why Enercare is offering a free furnace checkup for homeowners in the GTA. That's a $99 value. If your furnace has any issues, our Enercare experts can fix it, or we can get you a new one as soon as the next day. Don't get stuck shivering. Keep your home comfortable with...
Hey you, the Raptors fan that's already an insider, 67,031 subscribers in this amazing Toronto sports community. And normally I would say, hey, if you're new, hit the sub button, hit the bell, turn it on, whatever. Not today. It's New Year's Eve. We're pushing for 68,000 today with 4 streams on New Year's Eve and then 4 again on New Year's Day. So thank you. We'll see what this number ends up on after the first tomorrow. But let's close out 2024 strong. Happy New Year's to all of you hanging out with us and to all of you who have subscribed and become insiders. Cheers. Now let's get back to the basketball, the football, the hockey, and all of the sports here on TSI.
To Olynyk, who gives it back to Quickly. Quickly out on the perimeter now with a team-high 18 points. Goes around a Bruce Brown screen. Now driving on the near side. Scoops it up, missed it. Tip from Olynyk, no good. Loose ball picked up by Tobias Harris. Detroit has it.
Thought Kelly had a real mismatch on Sasser down low, and they couldn't get him the ball.
Holland has it for Detroit. Holland trying to go at Olynyk. Cuts him off on the baseline. Tried to poke the ball away. Holland flicks it out on the perimeter to Harris. Over to Stewart. Handing it off to Fontecchio. Turns around the screen. Steps into a triple and buries it from straight away.
That's good offense. Fontecchio coming clean off the screen again.
Late in the quarter, Detroit extending their lead to 8. Largest of this half. Quickly to Olynyk. Olynyk hands off to Boucher. Boucher inside the arc, stops his dribble, finds Quickly on the near side. Quickly now picked up by Tobias Harris. Sidestep into a 3 near sideline. Missed badly. Raptors can't squeeze. Fontecchio has it, and he pushes it ahead to Sasser. Driving into the paint. Cross court, far corner, Holland. Holland now slowing things down. There's only about a 1-second differential, so Detroit is going to hold for the last shot of the quarter. With an 8-point lead, the Raptors have let things slide here late third quarter. Detroit trying to get it into double figures before we get to the fourth, and now we have a foul called against Bruce Brown with 5.3 seconds to go in this third quarter. Brown, 8 points off the bench in 12 minutes, 3 boards, 3 assists. Raptors had a foul to give, so Brown smartly took it.
Wisely. Good thinking by the veteran. Now you really need to stop because you're out of fouls. There's no buffer.
Raptors get a steal off the inbound. They'll push ahead. 2 seconds to go. Bruce Brown lays it in with 0.4 remaining. The vet does it again, this time on the offensive end. And a big bucket there to cut it to 6 heading to the fourth.
You know what saved time on that play? Jamal Shed is in the passing lane and makes the interception, and midair before he hits the ground, outlets to Olynyk, who pushes it ahead to Brown. That little time not hitting the floor and waiting before you push it up. Again, high IQ basketball by young Jamal Shed.
99-93 is the score. Raptors down 6 Fourth quarter action comes next on Toronto Raptors basketball, brought to you by Tangerine Bank on the Sportsnet Radio Network, streaming on the Sportsnet app and at sportsnet.ca.
At Tangerine, we're fans of fans who are invested in the game. Like Gary, who lies with reckless abandon every time he's invited out on game night, so he doesn't have to miss game night. Sorry, it's mating season for my pet squid. My e-scooter is out of gas. I ate a beanless burrito. My shoulder blade feels dull. I'm traveling to the 16th century. That's how Gary fans, and we're fans of Gary. This is how we fan. Tangerine, the official bank of the Toronto Raptors.
Ah, at last, the Subaru winter is here. It's the perfect weather for the beach. Feel the sun's rays on the small amount of skin peeking out of your ski mask. Put on your beach puffer and hear the sound of the waves crashing over the chatter of your teeth. Get out there in winter like it's summer with standard symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive and advanced safety systems. Visit your local Subaru dealer today.
Join us to heal the future for SickKids patients. Every unique child SickKids sees comes to the hospital for world-class care, and everyone comes with a story.
Miles was born with a rare and chronic liver disease called biliary atresia, and he just recently had a liver transplant. People say when you have a kid that it takes a village, and I have the ultimate village in the staff at SickKids.
Help SickKids heal more futures. Donate today at healthefuture.ca.
This is Toronto Raptors basketball on Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
Welcome back. Eric Smith, Paul Jones with you. Raptors trailing 99-93. A 6-point deficit as we get set to start the fourth quarter. Toronto had a rough third frame, shooting, well, it wasn't that bad, I suppose, shooting 45%, but certainly down from the 50% that they were shooting in the first half. That said, Detroit still going along at a 57% clip, which is pretty much exactly what they shot in the first half. Toronto starting with the ball here in this final frame. Olynyk has it right now. He's cut off by Holland, gives it up to Barnes. Barnes just below the far elbow, late in the shot clock, missed the jumper, cleaned up by Olynyk, who leans in on Stewart, puts it back in the tin off glass, and the Raptors have cut it to 4. Pistons with their first touch of the final frame. Sasser has it right now. Comes around a screen set by Stewart. Crosses over, steps back, shoots over. Brown missed it. Boucher with one hand went for the rebound, couldn't squeeze. Harris 3-ball no good, and the Raptors dodged that bullet. Barnes across center. Scotty's got 12 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks. They could use a little more scoring, though, as he turns, fires, bucket and one. 3-point opportunity coming for Scotty Barnes, and when he turned, he ended up catching Holland in the chops as well. And Holland is checking the chicklets right now.
Holland also came down underneath Scotty, and Barnes coming up limping on that right ankle.
Scotty seems like he's all right as he steps to the free throw line and leans over.
It's just amazing the way the game has changed. A lot of people want that looked at as Barnes with an offensive foul. Hey, when I got the ball, I got the right to pivot, and there better be some space there.
Hits the free throw and cuts the Piston lead to 1. 99-98. Just over a minute gone by here in this fourth quarter. Olynyk came over the back of Isaiah Stewart trying to get the steal. He cleanly came over the back, knocked the ball away, out of bounds on the far sideline.
Used to call that dancing with the post. The guy's got you sealed, move to make him move, and then move back into the right spot. You may be able to get a steal.
99-98. Shot clock down to 12 for the Pistons. Sasser on the near side had the ball knocked away by Scotty Barnes. It rolls out of bounds onto the baseline. It'll stay with Detroit with 9 on the shot clock. At a town scoreboard, the Ravens still leading the Steelers 7-0. It's into the second quarter now with Baltimore and Pittsburgh. Tim Hardaway Jr. checking back into the ballgame for the Pistons. Fontecchio is going to check out. We're not even 90 seconds into this fourth quarter. The 1-point lead for Detroit. Taking quite a while to get the ball here. Oh, it must have been a spilled drink or something, as I'm seeing some of the towel people out on the floor trying to clean up a little bit of a mess. As Holland gets it in to Harris. Harris into the paint, stops on a dime, turns, fires, missed the shot, tipped from Stewart twice, no good. And what's the call?
Loose ball foul, stay here, so it's going to be against Toronto. Might be on Olynyk, as Stewart was really on his pogo stick there, up and down 3 times.
Still waiting for official word on whether it was Barnes or Olynyk. And it is indeed Kelly Olynyk who takes the foul. That'll be his first. Pistons will inbound from the far side, just to the right of their bench, as Sasser is looking to get it in. And just before he's whistled for a violation, Bickerstaff calls for time. Did not want to take that timeout. He's shaking his head right now. He's annoyed. But the Pistons will save the possession. Leading 99-98 on Toronto Raptors basketball, brought to you by Tangerine Bank on the Sportsnet Radio Network, streaming on the Sportsnet app and at sportsnet.ca.
Hey, Raptor fans, what would you rather have? More money or more vacation? Whichever you pick, it's a win-win. Just like hitting the 50-50 jackpot. When you buy tickets to the MLSE Foundation Lottery, you support kids and youth in communities across Ontario. Last season, over $1 million in jackpot prizes were won. That means more money and more vacation. Talk about a true win-win? Visit 5050raps.com for your tickets today.
Don't miss the massive public online auction at NorthTorontoAuction.com. Bid on ATVs, travel trailers, and snowmobiles. Find commercial vehicles and industrial equipment. Plus, hundreds of cars, trucks, and SUVs from government agencies, financial repossessions, and dealer trade-ins. Bidding is open now and closes Monday at noon. Do not miss this massive public online auction. Bid early and bid often. Register at NorthTorontoAuction.com.
Sold right over there. Sold.
Orthotics.
Footwear.
Orthotics.
Footwear.
Guys, enough. Kintec are experts in orthotics and footwear. It's what sets them apart. By tailoring orthotics to your shoes and shoes to your orthotics, you get comfort and support designed just for you.
Oh, so it's orthotics and footwear working together. Like peanut butter and jelly.
You got it.
Or pickles and syrup.
Is that a thing?
PB&J. Pickles and syrup.
Oh, boy.
Kintec footwear and orthotics.
This is Toronto Raptors basketball on Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
Welcome back. Eric Smith, Paul Jones with you. 99-98. Detroit leading Toronto by 1 with 10:35 to go in the ballgame. It's a 1-point affair.
Again, Eric, Raptors right there. Right? You could end up in another clutch time game. 5-point difference inside of 5 minutes. Just like in Cleveland, but let's see if this time they can make the right plays, have guys play their roles, look after the ball. They've done a decent job with the turnovers tonight, Eric. Only 10 as opposed to 15. Still a plus 10 in points off turnovers.
Pistons getting set to finally inbound the ball. It seemed like that timeout was about 12 minutes long. They get it into Stewart, and Stewart is bumped by Olynyk. Olynyk picks up his second foul, as we will do it again and have Detroit inbound from the far sideline. Harris taking a while to get it in, finally finds Tim Hardaway. Hardaway back to Harris, up top to Stewart. Stewart now gives it to Holland on the wing near side. Now puts it on the floor, trying to drive through the lane. Elevated over Boucher, who got the block and got the stop. Here come the Raptors, a chance to grab the lead. Brown to Boucher. Back over on the wing, far side, wide open. Emmanuel quickly missed it. Olynyk flies in, grabs the rebound, and puts it in the tin to give Toronto a 1-point lead.
Great kick out by Boucher, and nobody saw Kelly coming from above the three-point line.
199 is the score. Sasser in the corner to Holland. 3-ball, no good. Rebound to Scotty Barnes. Ahead to Quickly across center. Quickly, sideline to Brown. Brown through the lane. Far sideline, Olynyk took his hands off it, and it butterfingered through his hands out of bounds. Toronto turnover.
Wow, that's such a key play. You finally get the lead. You get a stop. You're coming to make the lead another one, maybe 2 possessions, and you don't even get a shot off.
9:41 to go in the ball game as Cade Cunningham will bring it across center for Detroit. Picked up by Scotty Barnes. And then Cunningham got into the heart of the lane, dropped it off to Stewart on the right block, who floats up a short jumper from maybe 10 feet, got it to go. And Detroit jumps back on top by 1. 101-100. Across center, Quickly gives it to Olynyk. Bounces the pass over toward the far side to Scotty Barnes, driving down Main Street into the lane, runs into 2 defenders, and his shot was blocked. I think it was Stewart that got his hands on it, and Detroit comes away with the ball. Cunningham, near side, covered by Boucher. Floats it to Stewart. Lays it in as he had the size, the strength, and the position on Brown and got it to go.
And nobody pressured the passer. Cunningham easily lobs that one inside.
103-100. Pistons extend to a 3-point lead. Brown out to Olynyk. Good look for a 3 to tie it, and he can't. Missed the shot. Rebound to Cunningham, and Cade will bring it across center toward the far sideline. Flicks the pass up top to Beasley. Beasley back to Cunningham towards center on the logo. Now trying to go at his old teammate, Scotty Barnes again. Barnes reaches for the ball, missed it. And where was the foul?
Oh.
That's terrible. Nick Bucher calls the foul.
That is a
Scotty reached
call.
in looking for the ball. He did not touch Cade Cunningham.
No more than hands in the forearm in the back of R.J. Barrett. That's a dreadful call.
103-100. Scotty Barnes going to check out of the ball game with 4 fouls. Pistons get it in. Cunningham has it. Comes around a Stewart screen, steps into a 3-ball, and buries the triple to push the lead to 6. Moments ago, the Raptors had the ball with a chance to extend their lead to 3, maybe 4, and instead, they've given up a 7-0 run to go down by 6.
Well, and that's I highlighted that possession, Eric, and how important it was.
$8:23 to go in the ball game. 106-100. Toronto down on Toronto Raptors basketball. Brought to you by Tangerine Bank on the Sportsnet Radio Network, streaming on the Sportsnet app and at sportsnet.ca.
Hey, Raptor fans, what would you rather have? More money or more vacation? Whichever you pick, it's a win-win. Just like hitting the 50-50 jackpot. When you buy tickets to the MLSE Foundation Lottery, you support kids and youth in communities across Ontario. Last season, over $1 million in jackpot prizes were won. That means more money and more vacation. Talk about a true win-win? Visit 5050raps.com for your tickets today.
You there, have you tried Subway's new Snackwich bundles?
Whoa, you're a bundle of energy.
But they're just $5.
Okay, chill.
There will be no chill. Get a toasty turkey ranch Snackwich with crispy potato rings. It's a bundle of a deal.
Oh, sounds tasty.
Or a hearty soup with a honey mustard ham Snackwich on ciabatta. It tastes like a bundle of joy.
Yes, I get it.
It's delicious and $5 at Subway.
Okay, bundle me in.
Price and participation may vary. Extras, taxes, and delivery additional. Expires February 16th, 2025.
Are you gonna say it?
Yes way.
At Newboro, we develop unique plans so people can unlock the equity in their home. Unique like this one. It's called the Aaron and Catherine Plan. Aaron was in the middle of selling his small business and wanted to pay off some debt. Truth is, big banks are not too keen on small business. So we developed a plan that was the perfect fit. Because as we see it, you're anything but small. Reach out today. We'll work side by side to unlock the equity in your home.
Use your home to get a loan with Newboro.
License 13115.
This is Toronto Raptors basketball on Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
Welcome back. Eric Smith, Paul Jones with you. 8. Toronto at 101-100, and that's when Kelly Olynyk turned the ball over and let the ball slide through his hands, and since then Detroit has gone on a 7-0 run, and we'll see if the Raptors can put a stop to that streak. coming out of this timeout. Raptors tonight with a balanced scoring attack. They have 8 players in double figures, quickly with 18 to lead the way. On the other side for the Pistons, Hardaway's got a team-high, game-high 27, and a huge performance tonight from Cunningham with 19 points, 15 assists, and 8 rebounds. Shed hands it off to Barrett, gives it up to Bruce Brown on the far sideline in front of his own bench. Driving now on Hardaway, stops on a dime in the lane, fires up the jumper, got it to go, and he says, you know what, you're too short for me.
Gives the too small signal to Hardaway Jr., but that was a good move by Bruce Brown. Get into the paint, man.
106-102, Stewart nearly lost the ball. Fires a pass over toward Thompson on the far side. Now back on the perimeter. Thompson gave it up to Beasley. Beasley in the corner. Pirtle out there on the perimeter trying to hold his ground. Beasley trying to drive on the big man. Yak with a fantastic defensive display, and the Raptors get the stop.
That's knowing your scouting report.
Driving, passing out. Brown to a wide-open Grady Dick. Missed the 3. Pirtle cleans it up. Bodies flying all over the place for Detroit, including Cunningham, who looks like he's hurt. Raptors missed 4 times, and Detroit comes away with the ball.
Wow, Barrett had a good look at a 3. Brown, the rebound, short. Grady tried an acrobatic over the head.
But the Pistons turn it over, and it feeds Bruce Brown, who didn't even get back to half court, and the Raptors have cut it to 2.
Brown's gassed. He's saying to Darko, I need a break.
Well, it doesn't look like Darko pulled anybody off the bench yet.
No.
Time to dig in.
Work hard on this end. Get a stop. You can rest a little on offense. It's a 2-point game.
Cunningham. Grady digging in on him. Cunningham passes over to Beasley, who buries the triple wing far side.
Well, a great job on the last sequence by Jakob, knowing that Beasley wants to shoot it. This time, maybe a tired Bruce Brown, not quite close enough.
And now quickly pops off the bench. I bet he comes in for Brown. 109-104. Detroit leading by 5, approaching the midway point of this fourth quarter. Brown, far side, step back, thought about the 3, passed off to Barrett.
It was deflected by Thompson, and then Barrett couldn't catch it.
I didn't see that, to be honest with you. And Bruce Brown does indeed come out of the ball game right now. Grady Dick getting an earful right now from Darko Rajakovic.
Well, he tried a low percentage on the rebound. Catch the offensive rebound, come down, survey.
And now we've got a trip.
They call a trip on Grady, but it sure looked like there was more of a blown tire by Thompson.
Grady thought that it was actually going to be a charge or something, because Grady turned and was
you got to
running the other way.
challenge that, Darko. This is the time to challenge.
It's taking too long to decide, I think,
This
as
is
the
the time
Pistons
to
are getting set
challenge.
to inbound.
This is the time to challenge. There was no trip. But then again, the referees go to the bench looking to justify their call. They would have called a push or something like that, so maybe you let it go.
Well, they didn't take the challenge, and the Pistons run offense, leading by 5. Harris, underhand pass out on the perimeter. Thompson, bad miss, but it's cleaned up by Duran. Blocked by Jakob Pirtle, and the Raptors come away with the ball. Barrett to quickly, far wing, fake the pass, step into a 3, bust it. Raptors cut it to 2.
Really good job. Pirtle standing tall defensively, and great spacing as they run the floor.
109-107 with 5.5 minutes to play in the ball game. Sasser trying to shake free from Barnes. Went left, comes back right, gets to the near elbow, jumper no good, and the rebound comes to Grady
That's
Dick.
fantastic individual D by Scotty. No help needed, nobody to pass to. Great job.
Quickly. Out on the perimeter far side, now bringing it back toward half. Shot clock down to 9. Pirtle comes up, sets a high screen. Quickly goes around it toward the far corner, elevates for the jumper, knocks it down inside the arc. It's a clean shot from 16 feet. The Raptors have tied it at 109.
When he's locked in, Emmanuel Quickley's a big-time player.
23 points in the ball game for Quickley. 4:50 to play. Harris got a step on Barrett at the free throw line, up and under move, got into the heart of the lane, got the floater to go, and the Pistons lead by 2. 111-109 as Quickley brings it across. 4.5 minutes left in the game.
So what you want, inside 5 points, 5 minutes.
Far elbow, stopping on a dime, leaning back, missing the jumper quickly. Tipped by Dick, picked up by Pirtle, and Yak is fouled. He'll go to the stripe.
Well, the key call there, Eric, was when you said Grady got his hand on the ball and did a nice job of keeping it alive for Pirtle. Even if you can't, get it back up on the glass, get it airborne again. Maybe one of your guys has a quicker jump.
So Yak goes to the stripe, a chance to tie the game here. 111-109, the Raptors trailing. Pirtle missing the first free throw. 6 points, 11 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals, and a block for Jakob Pirtle. They need him now to knock this one down. He dips, fires, and misses the second. But Barnes got a hand on it, and it's tracked down on the near sideline by Barrett. So Toronto still with a chance to tie or take the lead on this trip down the floor. Quickly. Covered by Duran. He's trying to go at the big man. Got to the free throw line, passed out to Barrett. Gets in, leans in. Foul on a reach on Cunningham. And now RJ's going to go to the line on the 4th foul of the game against Cade Cunningham.
Good job by Barrett. Again, somebody gets a hand on the ball, you run down the loose ball, you get a second chance opportunity.
111-109. Barrett goes to the free throw line and misses the first one. 2 of 5 at the stripe for Barrett. If there's a weakness in his game, it's certainly the free throw line. Barrett, second free throw. Off the rim, no good. The Raptors 0 for their last 4. 111-109. Toronto down by 2. Toronto 1 of 5 from the stripe in the 4th quarter. Pistons have yet to shoot one. That should be an advantage for Toronto, yet they haven't been able to take advantage as Cunningham comes back and hits, the jumper on a leaner from about 10 feet in the heart of the lane to extend the lead to 4. 113-109. Detroit leading with 3:48 to go in the ballgame. Jonesy, we will keep it here as Cade Cunningham has turned in a magnificent performance tonight.
That's big-time play, that last play by Cunningham. Big-time, 21 points, 9 rebounds, 16 assists, 1 rebound from pretty big-time triple-double. And making key plays, making winning plays. That was a sheer, straight one-on-one move that he got into the lane and was able to convert. And if you're the Raptors, you're going to look at those missed free throws and look back and say you'd like to have them.
So the Raptors started this road trip in New York and played a pretty strong first half, arguably a pretty decent 3 quarters, but it got away from them in the 4th, and they end up losing by 14 at MSG. They go into Cleveland, had another solid first half, had another solid 3 quarters. In fact, 3.5 quarters before the game sort of got away from them over the final few minutes. They lose by 6 in Cleveland, hoping to avoid the 0-3 road trip, still eyeing just their 2nd road win of the season. Toronto trailing by 4 with 3:45 left in the ballgame. Quickly bounces the pass over to Pirtle, gives it back to Quickly on the wing far side, now inside the arc. Scotty Barnes in front of his own bench trying to get down near the block. He's double teamed, passes out to Bruce Brown, over to Grady Dick on the near sideline. Grady put it on the floor, lost the handle, gets it back, was stripped briefly by Cunningham, got it back, blocked by Harris, and the Raptors come up empty.
Well, they did a nice job in their initial set, getting Scotty the ball and then drawing a double.
12 turnovers in the ball game for Toronto. Far elbow jumper, no good for Beasley. He was open, and the Raptors dodge a bullet there. They grab the rebound, trailing by 4. Quickly across center. Beasley in a stance in front of him. Comes around a Pirtle screen, quickly driving, looking to pass off. A foul comes in against Detroit as the clock stands at 3:01 with Toronto down 4. Emmanuel Quickly trying to make plays for Toronto right now.
He's big time, Eric. When he's locked in, his quickness, His scoring and shooting ability makes him a constant threat, which aids his playmaking. Not the other way around. He's not a playmaker who can hurt you with scoring. He's a scorer, and then all of a sudden, he turns it into playmaking.
Quickly to Brown, to Barnes, near sideline to Grady. 3 ball up, no good for Grady Dick. 4 of 8 from distance. They really wanted that one right there. Cade Cunningham. Around a screen set by Harris, gives it back to Harris as the double team came on Cunningham. Harris turns, fires to a wide open Duren, and a missed assignment by Grady Dick after Pirtle came over to help. Nobody picked up his man Duren. Detroit by 6 with 2:20 to play. Quickly across center. Driving on the near side, bumped by Duren and sent flying into the basket stanchion. I'm not sure why Duren's upset about that when there is no doubt a foul there.
Quickly again, putting pressure on the rim, getting into the paint.
And on the out-of-town scoreboard, Baltimore leading Pittsburgh 14-0 with 1:10 to go in the first half. Steelers with the donut right now, as about 2-3 minutes ago, Derrick Henry had a touchdown run to extend Baltimore's lead to 2 touchdowns. Raptors currently trailing by 2 field goals. It's a 6-point deficit, 115-109. Quickly at the free throw line. Hits the first one. He's a perfect 6 of 6, but that one took a little dance.
Front rim backboard and down for IQ.
Grady Dick checking out of the ball game. 4 of 11, 13 points for the sophomore. Raptors down 5, 2:15 to play. Quickly takes a deep breath. Dips for the free throw, and that one clean as well. A perfect 7 of 7. And that cuts the Detroit lead to 4 as Cunningham will bring it across center.
Yeah. Into some stops now if you're Toronto. Necessities.
Cunningham guarded by Barnes. Fighting through the screen. Scotty stays with Cunningham as he gives it up to Beasley. Turns, fires, and a triple is good for Beasley from straight away.
Got to stay attached.
Ticking under 2 minutes to play. Raptors now down 7. Detroit down at the half, fought back to take the lead in the third, and they've held it here in the fourth. Quickly got to the rim, scooped it up, missed it as it rolls off the tin, and the Pistons come away with the rebound. Far corner, Cunningham is... No, he wasn't. I was going to say he was bumped. It's going to be a timeout for the Pistons with 1:44 to play.
Smart timeout by J.B. Bickerstaff. He saw that Cunningham was cut off and quickly was coming on the double from the blind side, so he just said, look, I'm going to save the possession right now.
Raptors trailing by 7 with 1:44 to play. Emmanuel Quickly with a season-high 25 points in the ball game. And the Raptors have done all they could to throw as much offense at the Pistons as possible. But Jonesy, defensively, they have allowed Detroit to still go at a 53% clip. They've brought that number down a little bit since half, but man, oh man, Detroit just continues to roll, especially from the perimeter. 19 of 33, shooting 58%.
And Toronto's, for the most part, right with them. 16 of 37, but there's 3 there. But it's the look that Detroit's getting. That's the issue. They're getting good looks. There are missed, I said this at the beginning, didn't I? Right?
Yeah,
missed defensive assignments in crunch time. I'm not even so looking at the shots that they missed or whatever. You can't be giving up dunks. You can't have confusion, not knowing your personnel. Malik Beasley, he's not going to dribble into the lane. Coming off screens and stopping and shooting. That's what he does.
1:44 to go in the ball game. Getting set to resume play. We'll see what Bickerstaff drew up as Cunningham in front of his own bench inbounds to Beasley. Beasley brings it back out towards center court. Stops his dribble, floats the pass over to Duren above the arc on the far side, hounded by Jakob Poeltl. Hands it off to Beasley, turning the corner into the paint. Looked like he traveled as he slid his foot. Then he turns and throws a shot up over his back with his back to the basket, and he's fouled, and he's going to go to the line.
Wow.
Did it not travel?
Hey, that foot was the electric slide.
1:31 to go in the ball game. Detroit will have a chance to extend their lead to 9, which would be their biggest lead of this second half. They did have a 13-point lead in the first half that the Raptors wiped out. Toronto has never led, though, by more than 2 in this game. Malik Beasley at the stripe, taking the deep breath. He's got 18 points in the ball game. Misses the first free throw, and the second one rolls off the rim as well. So the Raptors catch a break, still trailing by only 7. Scotty Barnes in the paint, fouled. It was on a pass-off, but I believe that's going to put the Raptors to the line anyway, as Scotty Barnes will have a chance to get 2 for Toronto.
That's a good push. Toronto staying to its personality there, pushing the ball up the court.
1:25 to go in the ball game. Barnes at the free throw line. Misses. Jonesy, the fourth quarter three-point shooting has been abysmal for Toronto. Second one goes down for Barnes. The Raptors are 4 of 9 from the stripe in the fourth quarter. That's 5 missed three-pointer, or 5 missed free throws, excuse me. And they trail by 6.
Give me part 3 of those, as we say, not all 5. Give me 3, and it's a one-possession game.
Floater in the lane, no good by Tim Hardaway Jr. That was from about, 5-6 feet. Pretty easy shot that he came up empty on, but then quickly just did the same thing a little bit further out, but Emmanuel missed the one-hand floater. And the Raptors trail by 6 with now under a minute to play. Cunningham, 17 assists in the ballgame to go along with his 21 points. Gives it up to Beasley, back over to Cunningham. Got a step on Grady, and the Raptors take a foul with only 8 seconds left on the shot clock and 43.9 on the game clock. So Cunningham, hearing chants of MVP from the Pistons faithful, goes to the free throw line and knocks down the first one. He's had a heck of a season. Yeah. He's had a heck of a game. As you noted earlier, he certainly is deserving of an all-star nod. Nowhere near the MVP, though. That is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Second free throw rolls off the rim, and we've got a foul going against Jalen Duren. So that's going to be a great, great opportunity for the Raptors to walk the length of the floor with no time coming off the clock, really. Maybe 0.6 at best.
Got to knock down free throws now. And
it's Yak.
A really nice job boxing out.
So Yak's going to have to take care of business. He's 0 for 2 at the stripe. Has been better at the free throw line this season, but 2 key free throws right here. Exactly 43 seconds to play in the ballgame. Pirtle misses the first free throw. Second one coming. Missed it. 4 of 11 from the free throw line in the fourth quarter. And Toronto takes a foul in the backcourt to stop the clock. That's all they can do right now, trailing by 7 with now 40.7 seconds to play as Scotty Barnes takes the foul against Cade Cunningham. Cunningham 1 rebound shy of a monstrous triple-double, 22 points, 17 assists, 2 blocks, a steal, and 9 rebounds.
Stat stuffer. Every category got a check mark tonight for Cade Cunningham.
And now I stand corrected, not on the stats, but on the fact that it was actually Jalen Duren. On the stat monitor, it did say that Barnes fouled Cunningham. In fact, it even says Cunningham hit the free throw, but of course, that's Jalen Duren, not Cade Cunningham. As Duren knocks down the first one to extend the Detroit lead to 8. Duren's second free throw is good. The lead is 9 with 40.7 seconds to play. Out-of-town scoreboard, 11 seconds to go. In the first half, Lamar Jackson is 12 of 14 for 139 yards passing and a touchdown.
And over 60 yards rushing, I think, already.
And the Ravens lead 14-0. They've got the ball inside the 10. In fact, it might even be inside the 5 with 11 seconds to go. So at the very least...
Can you say Mark Andrews?
At the very least, Baltimore should be going into the half up 17-0, but they could put the foot down. It's at the 5-yard line.
They're going to throw it. You can't run it because time will run out.
We're providing some bonus coverage of some football play-by-play as Jackson drops back. Clock winding down. Baltimore has no timeouts remaining, and he scrambles to find Justice Hill on a touchdown pass, and Baltimore will go into the half leading by 3 touchdowns. Pittsburgh, the donut thus far. Back in Detroit, the Pistons with a 9-point lead, and Jonesy, this script is very similar to many games we have seen from the Raptors this year where they look good for a half, or they look good for 3 quarters, or they even look good for 3.5 quarters. But then it all falls apart, and the Raptors are going to fall to 8-31 on the season, and the road record just continues to look funkier with every away game that passes by. Toronto will be 1-18 away from Scotiabank Arena. Jakob Poeltl scoops one up and in off the inbound for Toronto. That cuts the lead to 7 with 37 seconds to play. And now Detroit will take another timeout.
Well, they had 1 remaining. Good timeout management by veteran coach J.B. Bickerstaff. Raptors scored the Poeltl bucket, and they did a really nice job of matching up right away. Everybody knew where their man was. They were on the ball. Poeltl was pressuring the ball. Everybody else was matched up, and Bickerstaff took the timeout.
Extra point for Tucker is good, and Baltimore goes into the half with a 21-0 lead. Raptors trailing by 7, 37 seconds to play. Jonesy, let's look ahead to Monday night when the Golden State Warriors come to town.
Well, they're already in town.
That's true.
They're already in town.
Well, yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Nice long break, I suppose, for Golden State to be in TO, and that's certainly good news for Steph Curry back in his old stomping grounds, a place he used to call home for a few years when Dad Dell played for the Raptors. I'm sure he would prefer it being in the spring or summer so that he could get out onto the golf course, but no doubt still with a lot of friends and close associates in the greater Toronto area, so that's got to be good for Steph Curry. But on the court, from a basketball perspective, Golden State currently sitting at 19-19, and that's only good for 10th and the final play-in spot in the Western Conference. So certainly a very important game for the Warriors on Monday.
Yeah, and only the second time since he was on the floor for the NBA championship in 2019 will Steph Curry play at Scotiabank Arena. All right, the chronology, you look at it, March 15th of 2020, canceled by COVID. The next year, the Raptors were in Tampa. The year after that, there was a game in Boston, then they sent 4 starters, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green.
Sent him home.
They sent him home. They didn't bring him across the border. Issues with, COVID and traveling over the borders and stuff like that. And then he was hurt.
Poeltl fouled Duren intentionally as the Raptors are just trying to keep the game alive. Duren hit both free throws. Raptors come up empty on the other end. RJ missing a long 3. Pistons have the ball. They bring it across center, and they're going to have to give it up.
And Cunningham got the 10th rebound for that monster triple-double you were talking about, Eric.
22, 17, and 10 points, assists, and rebounds. Pistons are going to hold the ball and take the turnover. It'll be their 17th. But ultimately, it did not come back to bite them in this ballgame, despite giving up 23 points off turnovers. The Pistons are going to win this game as Quickly brings it across center. And he dribbles out the clock, and the Raptors fall to 8-31.
Played hard, really hard. Did some really nice things. But in the end, it's about the execution of the fine details. And the Raptors still trying to figure that out. I will say I'm encouraged by the fact that they are now trying to figure it out with their healthy lineup, with guys playing minutes that you know are going to play minutes down the stretch. They ended the game with their 5 starters on the floor. So back to the drawing board, get into the video room, get into the gym, and see if you can keep it going if you're Toronto.
123-114 is the final. Raptors lose by 9. We'll come back with the final stats, then get set for post-game coverage with Amit Mann. It's Toronto Raptors basketball, brought to you by Tangerine Bank on the Sportsnet Radio Network, streaming on the Sportsnet app and at sportsnet.ca.
The National Basketball Association on SiriusXM. For a full list of games and channels.
And earned 21 wins and recorded the first 2 no-hitters of his stellar career, blanking the Royals and then the Tigers. In 1974, Ryan racked up 22 wins, a career high, and also his 3rd no-hitter, this time shutting down the Twins. Both of those years, he finished in the top 3 for the Cy Young Award as top pitcher, an award he never won. Ryan's 4th no-hitter came in a 1-0 win over the Orioles in 1975. The Ryan Express had to wait 6 years before his next no-no, getting it in a Houston Astros uniform against the LA Dodgers. By 1989, Ryan was a Texas Ranger and became the first player in Major League Baseball history to play for all 4 original expansion teams. The following season, he pitched his 6th no-hitter, this time against the Oakland A's. But he had one more no-hitter up his sleeve against the Toronto Blue Jays on May 1st, 1991. For It Happened in Baseball, I'm Mick Kern.
Follow every second of the action on NHL Network Radio. From behind the bench to every play on the ice. If it's hockey, it's on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio. SiriusXM 91.
I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your SiriusXM sports schedule for Saturday, January the 11th. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. In the NBA, 8 p.m. Minnesota Timberwolves face the Memphis Grizzlies. Timberwolves on SiriusXM channels 86 Internet 897, Grizzlies on Internet 894. 10 p.m. Portland Trail Blazers face the Miami Heat. Blazers on Sirius 137 XM 212 and Internet 904, Heat on Internet 895. 10:30 p.m. LA Clippers face the Charlotte Hornets. Clippers on Sirius 138 XM 214 and Internet 892, Hornets on Internet 883. 10:30 p.m. LA Lakers take on the San Antonio Spurs. Lakers on Sirius XM channels 86 Internet 893, Spurs on Internet 906. In the NFL playoffs, 8 p.m., Baltimore Ravens take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Ravens on Sirius 83 XM 227 and Internet 802. Steelers on Sirius 82 XM 226 and Internet 826. National feed on Sirius XM and Internet channels 88. Spanish feed on Sirius 139 XM 228 and Internet 832. In the NHL, 8 p.m., Nashville Predators face the Washington Capitals. Predators on XM 202 Internet 935. Capitals on Internet 950. 9 p.m., Utah Hockey Club takes on the New York Islanders. Utah on XM 203 Internet 947, Islanders on Internet 937. 10 p.m., Calgary Flames face the LA Kings. Flames on Sirius XM channels 167 Internet 923, Kings on Internet 932. 10 p.m., San Jose Sharks face the Minnesota Wild. Sharks on Sirius 208 XM 219 and Internet 942, Wild on Internet 933. 10 p.m., Vegas Golden Knights take on the New York Rangers. Knights on Sirius XM channels 91 Internet 949, Rangers on Internet 938. In tennis action, starting at 7 p.m., catch full coverage of the Australian Open on XM 391, Internet 981. In NCAA College men's basketball, 8 p.m., Texas A&M faces Alabama. Texas A&M on Sirius XM and Internet channels 84. Alabama on Sirius 106 XM 190 and Internet 960. 8:30 p.m., Mississippi State takes on Kentucky on Sirius 162 XM 191 and Internet 961. 9 p.m., Gonzaga faces Washington State on Sirius 161 XM 201 and Internet 963. 9 p.m., Utah State faces Boise State on XM 383 Internet 973. 9:30 p.m., Arizona State faces Baylor on XM 384 Internet 974, Baylor on Sirius 119 XM 382 and Internet 972. 10 p.m., Arizona faces UCF on XM 385 Internet 975. 10 p.m., Pacific faces Oregon State on XM 387 Internet 977. I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your Sirius XM sports schedule for Saturday, January the 11th. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. In the NBA, 8 p.m., Minnesota Timberwolves face the Memphis Grizzlies. Timberwolves on Sirius XM channels 86 Internet 897, Grizzlies on Internet 894. 10 p.m., Portland Trail Blazers face the Miami Heat. Blazers on Sirius 137 XM 212 and Internet 904, Heat on Internet 895. 10:30 p.m., LA